Houston, Tranquility Base here. The Eagle has landed.
Good evening, folks, and welcome to a very hairy evening, because tonight, people, we're talking about the legend himself, the Beast. No, we did that last week. That was Alex Crowley. Make sure you watch that show. That was an awesome show. We are talking about Harry and the Hendersons. Without further ado, actually, let me bring on my partner in crime first, and then we'll bring on the Warriors.
Hi.
Lee, my
I'm not sending a text message whatsoever.
Why are you texting me? Why are you texting me?
Well, you said you didn't like the guests. I was texting you back.
Oh, right. No, I don't. I hate the guests that much that I wanted to have them on again so we could just destroy them and their beliefs on Bigfoot.
That thing you said about minorities wasn't cool either.
I mean, I know we don't talk about that. Bigfoot. I think Bigfoot was possibly ginger, and that's what I want to have the conversation about, because the videos we've seen, they always put him with black hair, but I think Bigfoot is a ginger. Without further ado, the boys, Eric.
I don't know, man.
Anthony,
you hate us.
Ron.
What's up? I'm hurt. You hate us. I knew something was up.
We love you. We love you guys. we were just telling you. We had so much fun that last show. And people in the comment section could see that we had a good laugh.
Certainly.
Yeah.
You got to watch that one guy in the chat, Andy Gambino. Got to watch him.
Trouble, that guy.
He's trouble. Yeah. No,
that's my producer. He's a great guy.
I don't want to get him banned. He's like, damn it, Eric.
Now, I'll be honest with you. When we had you on last time, I think, Eric, you were telling the Bigfoot story, which I definitely want you to tell again, because that was way towards the end of that show. Okay. I've never been a Bigfoot guy because, we've got the Loch Ness Monster. So we don't have any Bigfoot in the UK. I don't think we have a Bigfoot in the UK anyway. I could be wrong there. It's an intriguing conspiracy, is Bigfoot.
Yeah.
Isn't the right words there? It is an intriguing conspiracy because it's got so many names and so many cultures, especially in the US. See it everywhere. Reports of it.
There's no conspiracy. He's real.
He is real.
Believed to be real.
Eric, can we start with you and your story that you told towards the end of the show?
I can, but if you start with me, everybody in the chat are gonna be leaving. You want everybody's gonna be dropping off? Nah.
No, it's okay. We pay them. They'll stick around.
Yeah, we do.
And I like what you said earlier. Your area, you live in an area about the Loch Ness Monster, so it makes sense. A lot of areas you live by the folklore stories that you're surrounded with. The Bigfoot story is probably one of the original, if you guys want to call it folklore, conspiracy, whatever, that I grew up on. Before we had our experience, every time. Listen, I grew up in our family are hunters. We grew up in a family. We're hunters. Okay. So I grew up in California, beautiful town of Fresno. Beautiful. I recommend everybody to fly to Fresno. Beautiful, brown, flat, hot. You'll love it. Now, every year we go in the mountains, the Yosemite National. I guess you could think of California. You could say Yosemite National Park, Sierra Mountains, but that's the mountains that's above Fresno that we go hunting every year. If anybody ever seen the movie, like Meatballs, like part 2, that's Bass Lake. That's part of my mountain area.
So
every year we go hunting.
Are you talking about
our family? What's that?
Are you talking about Hungry with the Chance of Meatballs?
No. There's a Meatballs movie with Bill Murray
from the 80s.
And then there's a sequel. It's a stupid sequel with that Corey Feldman guy.
Right.
And they filmed it in Bass Lake. And that's one of the lakes that's in the mountain areas that we go hunting in. So just in case anybody want to look that up.
Sorry about that. I'm like thinking, Jesus Christ, I watched that with my kids. I thought that was a fixing.
You're talking multiverse. That's the multiverse side when we see, thing. So our family grew up on respecting the woods, respecting the forest, respect the mountains, and you got to respect your surroundings. And Bigfoot was always brought up in a good manner, you got to respect Bigfoot. You respect him, he'll respect you. So Bigfoot was part of the normal conversation, guys. I mean, as a kid, I didn't know any different. Remember, we didn't have no internet like we have now. We didn't have 24 hours news channels. So I grew up automatically believing that Bigfoot's real. Right? It wasn't until school when people were talking about Bigfoot as a folklore, like a Santa Claus. Like, really? I always thought he was just flat out real. I thought he talked about lions and bears. So what happened was when we go hunting, we go on okay, we're in the mountains, right? So we're in the mountains, and the way we hunt, we usually do it in two different ways. There's two groups. One group drives in cars. That's usually the older group that can't walk as good. And the younger people, they go on foot. So we have a pattern on how we hunt. We drive one way and the people on foot go one way. And the idea is at closer to the end of the day, we're going to meet up at a spot. There's a spot, we had like 3 huge rocks where everybody on foot will be there at a certain time. And we'll be there. And it was a way to make sure that nobody gets lost. Everybody's counted for. And then we all drive back together. And of course, the real idea is maybe they can push the deer out towards the people in the car. Sorry about that. So in a way, people in the car, they're cheating. Right?
You might want to check that. She may have an answer.
Get the young guys to push out the bear, or push out the Bigfoot. I'm sorry, the deer, and they'll shoot them. But so one night we went and picked everybody up, and everybody's counted for, everybody's there. We all get in the vehicle. So, and it was 1984. And the reason I remember 1984, because that was the year of the Panama Jump Van Halen album, 1984. That's like my spot. That's my jam. So it's 1984.
How old were you, Eric?
I was 11.
Okay. Yeah, I was 4. Yeah.
Man, I'm feeling freaking old. Shoot, I won't tell people my age in 2 weeks, but so we get everybody's in the car. So we're all driving back to camp. We still got about 4 or 5 miles on a dirt road, We're driving, and I still remember my Uncle Johnny, big Uncle Johnny. We're driving, he's like, "What the fuck is that?" And he turned, and that's my Uncle John. He's like, "What the fuck is that?" Hey, nobody talks nice in our family. I just want to say it. So I apologize. You don't like cussing.
No, mine either.
But it's like, "What the fuck is that?" And everybody looked, and first of all, you heard the fucking scream. And I don't want to say it's like a woman, because it was a long time ago. I was 11, but it was like, I guess you want to say high pitch, like a woman's pitch, but distorted, like a distortion. Like you're taking a guitar and you're distorting that sound. It's like that voice. And you saw this thing, and it must have been between 7 and 9 feet. I can't tell exactly. I mean, it was fucking tall. It was tall. It was staring at us. Now, it was no fucking bear. But I know first thought, it's a bear. First of all, we saw this thing on 2 feet. If it was a bear, it was probably be on 4 feet. But it was standing, it was screaming. And then, of course, what happened next was the young people, my bigger brother, my cousin, they're like, let's go after it. And I mean, that's the young people. Let's go after it. So all the young people, including myself, but I was the youngest. I was running, lagging a little behind. We start chasing it. They went after it. Why? I blame it on the grown-ups for talking like Bigfoot's a thing. And we remember watching this thing running through the mountains, running. It never got back on 4 feet. It stayed on 2 feet.
The whole time. That's why we're saying that's not a bear. A bear would eventually start running off on all 4. The only time they might run off on 2 feet, I don't know, maybe they got a hurt arm, but nobody shot it. Nobody was shooting at it. Nothing like that. If we're just chasing it, you heard the crack, crack, crack. But then all of a sudden you heard nothing no more. It was like just silence, like no more cracking, no, nothing. And everybody pulled up to a point in the woods and you're looking around because, I mean, you heard nothing yet. I mean, not even like a pin drop. Everybody's looking for, you know, any more broken limbs and all that. When you're running down it, you can see the broken stems that we broke during the run, but to the point where it was like a little opening inside the trees. There's like a little opening, but out of that little circle, there was nothing else broken. I mean, it just like it felt like it just disappeared out of nowhere.
Did it vanish?
It's like it vanished. The only thing we heard next was the grown-ups behind us. My Uncle Johnny, a guy named Buck, big guy Buck. Like, what the hell you fucking kids think you're doing? You're running after something you don't know. You know what that thing could have turned around and kill you kids. And they're probably right? You know, they're probably right. They could have killed us, but guys, it was just gone. And this is the best part about it. It wasn't just seen by one person, two person. Everybody in the camp. There was probably a total of, there's 3 cars. It was probably a total of 11 of us. And to this day, we kind of talk about it. The stories never change. You know, everybody remembers. Now it wasn't dark, but it was getting to dark. It was probably reddish brown color, not like super black, not like super light, but it was quick. You know, you gotta, when you see something like that and when it's taking off, I mean, it's doing it all within 30 seconds, 30, 45 seconds. So you see this glimpse, but then it's gone. And it's just,
I never asked you, how deep into the wilderness were you guys?
oh my God. I mean, when we start chasing it, I mean, if I'm going to guess, we probably ran a good half a mile.
And how deep was the campground in the woods?
Well, the campground, we were driving back to the campground. That was we're still like 3-4 miles away.
But
we were in the part where the hunting part of the mountain part where because you don't hunt where campers are.
Yeah. Where
we camp, there's like every camp spot's like a mile from each other. Nobody camps next to each other because why would you do that? You don't want to shoot.
So nobody was on top of each other.
So we're about 3-4 miles away from our camp spot. But the weirdest thing was it was there. It screamed, it ran, it was gone. And the thing is, we could sit here all day debate if it was a bear or not, but we know it's not a bear because why did it not go on 4 feet? Why this thing look 7 to 9 feet? And I don't know if a bear is big enough to just disappear. You know what I mean? Like just stop making noises out of nowhere.
I've seen bears walk on 2 feet. There's a video on YouTube of a bear in this neighborhood, wherever it is. You could probably find it. And the bear, everywhere it goes, it walks on 2 feet.
You're right.
You never see it on 4 feet. So that does happen. But you got an actual look at the thing.
Yeah, and then you're saying walking. Now this thing wasn't walking. This thing was running from us.
Yeah, I've never seen a bear run on 2 feet.
Me neither. Walk, yeah. Run, though.
So,
but I mean, what is this area again? Eric, I think we're getting a little bit of feedback from somebody. I don't know who it is. We were getting some.
I heard it too. I muted myself when he was talking to see if it was. I'm muting myself now to see.
Do you hear it now? Any echo?
I think
no, it's gone.
No, I think it disappeared when Anthony muted his mic.
Is it me?
I think it's just a slight bit, Anthony. Just a slight bit of.
Let me go on and come in.
Okay. Where's this area again, Eric?
No, we camp at a spot. It's called a Poison Meadows. Now, if you go look at a map, there's the nearest town is called Coarse Gold. If you look,
but it's in Seattle, right? In Washington?
No, California. This is
California.
We were born and raised in Fresno, California. So we go hunting in the Sierra Mountains, Yosemite Mountains. Most people know Yosemite National Park. So So if you think about that area, that's where we're at. In a place called Poison Meadows, a town called Coruscant up in California. Now, Washington is supposed to be a very, very hot spot, but I have never seen any type of Bigfoot in Washington yet.
The Sierra Mountains, that's where Ron Moorhead supposedly got those recordings of the Bigfoot voices.
Do you have
Yep.
them, Ron?
Yes, Ron. That's near our area.
Yeah. Yeah, I could find those real quick.
That was my
crazy.
next question. If there's been a lot of reports of Bigfoot, of well, whatever it is, in that area. Do they call it Bigfoot in that area as well?
Yes.
They do. Because I was, through me looking through this for the thumbnail, I thought I'm going to put some of the...
I mean, some people call it Sasquatch, but it's the same thing.
There is so many names.
There's a ton of names. Sasquatch, Bigfoot, Ansui. Yeah, there
those
you go.
were just some of them that I found.
Orangutan, what's another one? Skunk ape.
Yeah, a lot of it depending on where you live. You know, everybody has their like certain names. Like Florida, the skunk ape. You know, they're known for the skunk ape, and I think Ohio has a certain name too. I forgot what they call them. The grass feet. Oh God, I can't remember.
There was the one down there was the grass.
The grass man.
The grass man. Ohio.
That's actually hidden underbelly. He's the grass man.
Yes, he is. My lad. But that's what I found so intriguing. The fact that how big America is, and these reports of different culture. Different cultures all over America, different people, everywhere, all talking about this big fucking gorilla-like looking thing that is being spotted all over the place.
Well, because we got a lot of mountains. I mean, a lot of mountains in the United States. Going up to Canada, I mean, it's full of mountains. I mean, great places for it to live. And I always hate when people say, "Well, how come not everybody sees it? You know, how come, you know, why not everybody's catching up on camera?" You know, I actually took some notes for this. Like, you know, when we go deer hunting, I'm talking about just California alone. I'm not talking about every single state. In California alone, there's about 532,000 deers just in California. And when we go hunting, you know, you don't see a buck every single day. You don't see a buck every day or often, you know. So there's some seasons that we don't actually get one. So you're talking about and bucks know when it's hunting season. They know. Bucks know. That's why you only see does. Bucks hide. They're smart. They're not maybe not smart as human, but they're smart. So when you hunt for a buck, they're hard to find because they know it's hunting season, right? Now, think about this. In the 20 years I lived in California, going hunting every single year in California, there's about between 25 to 35,000 bears. Okay, 35,000 bears. Now, if you ask me how many times I've seen a bear hunting, I'm not talking about in a zoo, looking on magazines. We've maybe seen a bear 3 times, right? 3 times out of 25 to 35,000 bears. Now, we saw Bigfoot once. So if there's only 1,000 Bigfoot, you're not going to see these things like you would like a deer or a bear. And the kicker is, if these Bigfoot are half as smart as us or smarter than us, I mean, they're like the Green Berets of the special forces. I mean, this is their land. They're not going to pop out. This is what I really, truly believe. I believe because we camp there every year, I believe that the Bigfoot, when we start thinking about it, kind of knew us. And I don't know if he's wanted to be shown to say, "Hey, I do exist, but this is my land. You can have that part. This is our part." You know, it's all speculations. But all the interviews that I have done, you know, Anthony's done a few interviews with me, with some people with Bigfoot. You know, they all tell you the same thing. When they saw Bigfoot, it could have harmed anybody, but it chose not to.
Usually you hear a story, they walk away. We had a couple people on, right, Eric, that told us they were like, I don't know, within 5-10 feet of the thing. And in one instance, it picked up a log and threw it at Jeff. That was Jeff, right? That happened to?
Yep.
It threw the log at him. Then Bigfoot Michigan Rob, he was on his rowboat, right? And it came on the shore and it was eating a dead fish that was on the shoreline. Him and his girlfriend both seen it, freaked him out. So they do come up to people. You know, it's not uncommon. Well, stories. It's not uncommon in stories that they come up to people. I was actually cutting wood up in Pennsylvania one year, and I actually recorded this thing just screaming back and forth at each other. It sounded like one was on the left, one was on the right, and on the right side there's a lake. And it sounded like one was on the right side by the lake, and where I was cutting wood, I guess I got in the way of the other one coming down because I never heard anything scream like this before. I go up to my cabin all the time. And
So this is the thing that this scream is this being reported by
everybody,
so
everybody
sees this scream. Is
hears
this what
it,
you sent me, Ron? Is these?
No, this is actually from Ron Moorhead and I think Al Berry. They were in the Sierra Mountains in the 70s, and they used to go up there every year. And he was on the show one day. We interviewed him, but like this is a claim of this was actually Bigfoot that were up there, that he got the voices on recordings. I mean, do I know that's a fact? No, but this has like been kind of like the holy grail of the sounds and all that.
We'll definitely play that because I don't know if I've heard. I've heard.
I haven't.
I've heard stuff on Bigfoot before, but I don't know if I've heard sound recordings that I know. I may have heard this one or not. I don't know. Is this what's this you sharing now, Anthony? Is this?
I'm cutting wood here, and you hear it scream. And I'm on a 100-acre piece of property. It's just my cabin there. That's it.
I would have burnt that cabin to the ground and never gone back.
It was so loud. The phone really doesn't do it justice. It was so loud that
What made you start filming in the first place?
I heard from the right side.
Oh, right. So you heard it and then you got your phone out to film.
Yeah. So I just put my phone down on top of the fire pit rocks and I just let it sit there. And I just kept cutting wood with hopes that I would hear it again. And a few minutes went by, and then one screamed from the left, and the other one screamed from the right. And then I just left the axe and I ran back in the house because it was so loud. You felt it in your chest, you know, like reverberated. I was like, "Fuck this! I'm out of here, man. I don't know what the hell that was." And then after playing it for a few friends, they were like, "I think you may have caught a Sasquatch." So I kept it. I don't know. I didn't see the animal, but
regardless of what it is, it sounds weird. It's creepy.
Yeah, I've never heard anything like that before.
From you hearing that, could it have been, say, let's just say a guy
100%, I guess.
He's out there and he hits his phone with the hammer.
No. That wasn't a man. I mean, I've heard people mimic the Sasquatch call really, really well. I mean, how do I know? I've never seen a Sasquatch with my own two eyes. I don't know what they sound like, you know, but
there's a guy so I live near Leeds, and there's a guy in that. Have you heard of Leeds, a city in the UK? And we call him the werewolf. He randomly walks around Leeds and just howls like a wolf. But it's like I've actually heard him do it when I've been in Leeds. It's crazy. This guy just howls. But you're in the middle of nowhere.
I'm on it was a 100-acre property. Yeah. Could a hunter have been out there trying to scare some of his friends? 100%. 100%. And I'm sure with all the rock formations around up there, if you gave a good, you know, call out, you would probably scare the shit out of your friends.
But did it feel to you, because it's hard to tell with that you just played, did it feel to you that is a noise that a human could possibly make?
No, because if the group of us were in the woods, let's say, right? And Lee, you know, he snuck off, you know, 15, 20 feet away from us, and he yelled on the top of his lungs. I wouldn't feel it in my chest. I felt that thing scream. You know what I'm trying to say? Like I felt it in my body.
Yeah.
So that's what made me keep the recording and share it around.
Yeah, you do feel like a vibration.
If I didn't feel that, I would have never kept that recording. But only because I felt that reverberation, I kept it.
Yeah.
How did you feel?
Now, Michigan Rob, when he felt the vibration from the scream, it actually knocked his girlfriend off the boat. So, you know, there's some power in their voice.
It's been argued that they put out this infrasound, these Sasquatch. That's the argument, that they can call blast this infrasound, and when you get hit with it, you feel it in your chest. Just like the military, when they disperse crowds, they use that infrasound to disperse crowds and stuff.
The Banshee.
It makes you freeze enough so they could, you know, start taking off like a defense, you know.
But I mean, all these years, people hunting Sasquatch, nobody's pulled one out yet. Killed one, shot one, brought one into science. I mean, because of that.
There's that guy on YouTube that I don't know how if you seen the guy that keeps showing the up front. I mean,
Please don't tell me Todd Standing.
No, he's a comedian, mate.
Is it the guy that you can just see its nostrils and every saying it's him in the mask? You can tell by his eyes.
Painted blackface.
Yeah.
That's Todd Standing. Yeah, I've spoken.
Looks like an Ewok.
He's from Canada. Yeah, I've spoken to him a few times. From what I'm told, he's a hoaxer. Do I know?
Right.
Can I put that label on him? No, I've never met the guy in person. We've spoken in correspondence, email, and stuff like that. Have I ever physically gone in the woods with him and let him prove to me that they're out there? No. So I don't know for sure. But
isn't that the same guy that was supposedly had like a chopped up Bigfoot foot in his freezer? And
that's another
Rick Dyer. That's Rick Dyer.
Rick Dyer.
Oh, okay. Because I know that guy was
show on him.
Yeah, that guy was just doing a bit, wasn't it? That was like
you're talking about Peter Kane, dog trainer. Peter Kane, dog trainer, Bigfoot guy.
I have no idea. I know who he is, but I wasn't sure whether he was the same guy that did like the face in the forest as well.
Rick Dyer, they did a lot of fakes,
not just twice, I think, right?
He did a lot of fakes, not just the Bigfoot in the fridge. I mean, they did a lot of fakes where they put themselves in a car and they had like an image of a Bigfoot and they took the camera film and they grinded it up on purpose.
Mm-hmm.
They actually hired the guy from Las Vegas of all places to help set the whole thing up.
If you pull up that image I put down there for you, Ali, that's all Todd Standing's work. He put this Bigfoot image up on the
that's the one that I'm thinking.
Yeah. So, and he's got like pet names for them too. Like he's got names for all of them, all his Sasquatch.
It kind of does look like him as well in makeup, doesn't it?
It does. It does look like it could be in him, because that's him up on the top there with the beard. It very well could be him. And it's alleged
we saw looked nothing like that.
And it's alleged that his sister is a makeup artist.
It's good makeup. I'll give it that. It looks cool. It looks what I'd expect if
it's
there
very
was
manicured, though.
Had a DA,
you're right. It does
very
look
manicured,
very clean.
Sasquatch. I would assume a Sasquatch would have long nappy hair. It doesn't get to take a shower and bathe itself properly. It would probably
cats
smell
are clean though. Wild cats
know?
Are clean. It could be just a grooming animal.
Could be.
But,
we've got Billy Myers.
He's a grooming animal.
Promoter on next week, Michael Horn. So,
oh God.
Yeah. Well, I'm interested in the conversation, so we're gonna have a conversation with that man. I'm gonna be.
Or a screaming match.
Always
match, right?
no. Here we're respectful, and we want to know. I want to know the story of how they met. That's gonna happen next week. But I find this. It always interests me when it comes to people that do. I kind of like the whole. I've done something. I've made this, and I've fooled the world with it. That interests me because we as we like conspiracy and we latch onto it. So I'm interested in interviewing that guy who really believes Billy, and if he can convince me, then he won't.
He's a couple French fries short of a Happy Meal, Michael Horn.
But
he really is.
I'm willing to hear him out. I'm willing to. I want the. It's going to be a good interview. I'm going to hear him out. But this is the thing when it comes to Bigfoot. There is so many people that have show like this guy that you've just shown me with this famous Bigfoot face.
Outstanding,
yeah. I mean, it looks like him.
It does. It does. And he's captured.
What's the odds?
But Ollie, Lee, check it out. He's captured so much footage of alleged Sasquatch that he was able to pull out with him Dr. Jeff Meldrum. Who else went out with him, Eric? Meldrum went out with him. Les Stroud went out with him and had an alleged Sasquatch encounter. He took that other doctor out that passed away. His name escapes me. Yeah. He passed away recently. That old man, the Sasquatch doctor. I can't remember his name for the life of me. But anyway.
Me and Lee know nothing about Bigfoot, by the way.
He's pulled out some really big names. And he's the only guy in the world, I think, that's captured, I don't know, 8 or 9 pieces of footage of different Sasquatch. Now, how's that humanly possible? How's that possible?
Unless it's the type of phenomenon that attaches to certain people.
I don't know. I want to believe it's so bad, but that would be the lucky. He better go play the lottery because that's the luckiest man in the world.
Yeah. It's so well shot as well. It's the same thing with UFO stuff, isn't it? If you get something that's too clear and too perfect, it's clearly a hoax.
Yeah.
Unless Corbell's done it.
I was so happy yesterday, not to get off topic, that Dr. Kirkpatrick gave a little jab to Elizondo and a little jab to Corbell because they showed the Mosul footage yesterday, and they were like, "We never gave this to anybody. It's the first time you see in the video here, and there's no way that Corbell. If Corbell would have had that footage leaked to him, he only had a photo. If he would have had it leaked to him, he would have had the video."
But did you see what happened with Corbell?
No.
Did you see how Fox did a whole piece on him yesterday? And he said that Kirkpatrick showed was newer. That wasn't the Mosul footage. That's just another one. And they let him go, the UFO expert. And he's out there saying that this is really dangerous because crossfire with these things. And they just let him go.
Not to go off topic, but we're going to talk about it on Lee's show on Sunday.
Oh, cool.
But we will be talking about the what's just gone off, which was nothing. But I think we will mention they pronounce it Moselle? Is it Moselle?
Mosul, yeah.
Mosul, yeah. The orb, that piece of footage. What did you boys think of that?
I think to be honest, I think it's a drone of some kind. That's what I think it is. Maybe a quadcopter, out of focus quadcopter.
Because you probably wouldn't see the propellers, would you?
Because it really looks out of focus.
Yeah, you wouldn't see them.
I don't think so. And then the other object was a larger plane giving off a heat signature, making a shadow target. I'm glad they showed us that because I use IR, and that's good information to know now. So when I'm looking at objects, I can deduce, say that could be, a phantom object, the heat, giving off a phantom signature. So that was really good that they did that. But I was hoping they showed more, than 2 pieces. Because they were talking like 650 items they had to go through. And they only went through 150. And what'd she say, Gillibrand? 12 of them were drones. 140 of them were balloons or trash. And I want to know what the rest were.
Did you see alien scientists were there?
Alien scientist was there?
Yeah, Jeremy.
Oh, no way. He was there.
He interviewed the senator.
How did did you need a special pass to get in, or anyone could have went in?
I don't know, but there wasn't many people there, but he was one of them.
Awesome. No, I did not know that. Good for him, man. That's awesome.
Yeah, I like Jeremy.
He's a great guy, man.
Good guy. Jeremy, if you hear this, I messaged you on Twitter, but you're welcome on. Lee wants to get you on Sunday.
Good man.
Definitely.
We want your input.
And the guy I was talking about was Dr. John Bindernagel. That was the other guy that Todd Standing got out with him. So he pulled out some really big Sasquatch researchers to go out with him. And I still don't believe every piece of footage that the guy's shown,
But were they convinced?
They were convinced. But then again, you don't know if you can hire Dr. Bindernagel. Like, here's $1,000. I need you to come out and say that, this footage was legit. Dr. Meldrum, look, here's $5,000. I need you to come out and do this documentary and say it's legit. I mean, they get paid to do conferences. What's to stop them from taking a couple grand to say something's real on a documentary? You know, that's how I look at it today. You know, unless I physically lay my hands or my eyes on it, I got to do the investigation, you know, because that's just the way things are today.
It must be a thing, like, you know, you've got any of these people that go to like conferences and stuff like that, and it's when you decide one day, right, this is it, I'm going to make my living talking about Bigfoot or Mothman or UFOs. That's a hustle you're going to have to work at making work.
Right.
No, that's a decision.
Career, right. If you're going to make it your career, I mean, you got to believe every little story that comes in. You know, every person that comes to you is another potential client or a potential subscriber, viewer, somebody that's going to buy your merch. So
it's Jeremy Corbell all over again, isn't it?
Look, I don't have any harsh feelings towards Jeremy. You know what I mean?
No, I like him.
I mean, I like the guy. I just don't like where he goes. And, you know, every single piece of footage is real, or it came from a whistleblower, or, you know, that shit I don't like. Because, you know,
I think he's a phony. I think the guy's a straight up phony. That's it. He just like lies about everything he talks about. I mean, that's it. He's selling entertainment. That's it. I just think he's a phony.
He's all about the ratings.
Yeah. But he moves on to the next. Whenever he fails at something, he just moves on to the next. And he just so happened to see UFO bucks, and he stuck around. And as long as people stick around, he'll stick around.
Yeah,
that's it. But he's as phony as they come. That's what I believe. That's why I call him Jeremy Doorbell. That's it. Yeah.
Ron, I'm going to bring this up that you've just shared.
Just so you know, that is not my footage. So that's something I have played on my channel at times and everything, but it's not my footage.
Are we gonna be good to play it?
Oh no, you can play it.
Yeah, you can play it in short bursts and all that. Yeah.
Yeah. Whose channel is it?
Just before you go, this is a good comment to bring up with you.
It's from Ron Moorhead.
The Ollie in America.
Read it familiar. Yeah, I'm going to say.
One of the states put in the fire department handbook what to do with an encounter with the Bigfoot while handling a forest fire. Is that true?
That's true.
Wild.
And in a couple states, it's illegal to shoot at a Sasquatch now.
In the state of Washington, where I live,
there you go.
It's considered manslaughter.
Wow. Q, my lad.
It's become a big
knocking out of the park. I love Q. Good lad. Right, let me bring this up.
Somebody in your chat was asking a question earlier. The hidden underbelly.
Hidden the legend.
Well, he was asking a question. Do we think that is Bigfoot like pre-human? Which that's a pretty good question. Of course, we'll never fully know. I think Bigfoot has existed all the way back during the caveman days and before. But I don't think we came from Bigfoot. I think they're their own species.
I think Bigfoot is an offshoot of Gigantopithecus that was around during the prehistoric era with the dinosaurs and everything. It was a giant bipedal great ape that was in the 12 to 15 foot height range. I think that the Sasquatches, if real, would be a descendant from that. That's what I think they are.
You boys, if you don't know who Hidden Underbelly is, you got to go subscribe. He's a good lad. Good lad. He's all UFOs.
I had him on the show. He's a great guy, man. Yeah. Dynamite guy.
He doesn't like to get high ever.
Matter of fact, Underbelly and I, we did the first virtual UFO conference together. I think last year. Yeah, we had a good time. Nice guy.
He's one of my favorite people on the platform.
Real nice guy.
In fact, I would go so far to say, no, I'm not going to say it in front of you boys, but yeah, he's I have a soft spot for Hidden. He's a good lad. Right, let's bring this up.
Room.
I am getting a room with you when you.
I just subbed this channel.
Yeah, there's a lot of good stuff on there, Ron.
So this channel, people, is Mel's what? Well, Mel's Blanc.
We're getting a bit more feedback from somewhere again as well.
Oh, yeah.
Mel Blanc.
Mel Blanc 222. Go check it out, people. I'll put it in the description.
I put myself on mute and I still heard it, so I don't know if it's from here.
Yeah, not me.
It might
Now,
be.
Ollie Lee, in
it might
the
be
private
muted,
chat,
so-
I put a link in there for you guys for later on. You want to hear one of the best Bigfoot story. You want to listen to the video I sent you, Donnie Miller story. It's about 2 hours. You guys get a free chance, and his story will blow you away.
All right, yeah, I'm definitely. You should have sent me before, Eric, before the show. Then I'd have had a bit of knowledge. Already, gentlemen. Right, let's have a listen to this.
Yeah.
Ready for a night view.
Oh, it's a scream.
When the sounds get crazy.
Which one is this?
Sounded like Lee.
So when you hear the close one, that's actually Ron Moorhead doing that to try to make
Right.
the.
That's our job. I know where we look for tracks and all that for sure.
So, boys, this is from when? When is this from?
This is old, right,
A
Ron?
long time ago.
If I remember, I think Ron told me, I think it was 72 or 73,
Right.
1972, around there, 1973.
So, what we're hearing there with the up close one is the guy. What's he called again?
Ron Moorhead.
Ron Moorhead and Al Berry.
They're doing it back. They're trying to. They're
Right.
He's like mimicking him to like make him talk more. And what he said was that it sounded like that there was actually a family, like a male and a female, because in some parts of this, and there's like, I think they broke it down into like 3 parts. You hear like, oh, it sounds like a samurai.
Yeah, like they're
that.
talking gibberish or something. It's really weird, man.
Yeah.
Wasn't there that story from somebody else as well saying that they sounded like Japanese or Asian?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. I did that jogged a memory.
Yeah. Yeah.
So-
It really did. It sounded like, when you see those samurai like that. It was just, it's crazy. And they and it actually sounds like the male and the female were arguing like that when you hear them. Like, it was just funny. Doesn't matter, right? What species you are.
You get out of my tree, TP. No, you get out of my tree, TP. You go,
But and
Clean
these
up
boys,
after yourself.
these boys were out there to find evidence of Bigfoot.
Oh, yeah. See, Sasquatch researchers, they live out there in the wilderness,
Yeah.
man.
They're
Yeah,
one of the original investigators.
Yeah, I know a guy. He's have you heard of Dave Miller?
Dave Miller, no.
He does some stuff around Skinwalker Ranch and stuff like that, but he's nothing to do with that. In fact, he had a big falling out with all them. but he's always out and about, always out. Just he doesn't do the whole eat for a living. I think he's a truck driver, so I have no idea what he does for a living. But he's like boots on the ground and does all that stuff, gets out and about. So I can appreciate that. Like some people get well and truly balls deep into this subject.
Yeah.
But the problem is when you get that, everybody goes, well, these guys must have faked that. You know, they must have got some other guys at the other end and say, listen,
Green bag, yeah, sure.
come on out, have a few beers with us. Do us a favor, go over there and start making fucking noises.
Well, I got one for you. What about 1951? Eric Shipton up in the Himalayas snapped a photo on the top of the Himalayan mountains in the snow of Sasquatch prints, the one with the big toe.
Yeah.
His claw, his spiked claw next to it. That's up in the Himalayan mountains in the middle of nowhere. Like, who's going to go up in the Himalayan mountains to stage, a Sasquatch tracks?
Yeah.
Like, for what reason? Especially back in 1951. Like, what would be the
we
purpose?
don't tend to get any more like the
In 1951?
Do we still get reports of like the abominable snowman?
I don't think they call it that anymore. I think now
For
it's
Bigfoot.
it's all Bigfoot, Sasquatch, Yeti, Orang Pendek. They got all different names for different locations. I don't think abominable snowman they use anymore. I could be mistaken. I haven't heard it
Unless you're making a cartoon
in years.
movie.
Yeah.
Have you boys ever thought about going out together and doing it, or have you already done it?
Problem is, they're New Yorkers. I'm on West Coast.
Ron and I, we go out from time to time, do paranormal stuff, UFO stuff.
Yeah, I know you've done the paranormal.
The Sasquatch stuff, no. But this summer I'll be going out with a guy named Mike, Long Island Bigfoot, who's in the chat. He's not too far from me, and we're going to get together and because I want to see what everybody else is talking about. I want to go out there and experience it again. I want to, see what happens.
It'd actually be. I'd love to get you guys on with. Have you heard of a UK channel called Ghost Tech Paranormal?
No, I have not. No.
Pretty good. I'm really good friends with a guy called Jeff, who's kind of like the lead investigator of that team. Be good to get some American ghost investigators on with the UK ghost investigators.
That would be awesome. I would love
we will make that happen. He's taking me. He's going to take me out, but I need to take me and Lee have joined. For anybody who doesn't know, me and Lee are now one. we are one nipple. So I suppose Lee's gonna have to come and stay in this haunted house with me in the UK.
Have you guys ever gone and stayed at a haunted location together?
We will be in 2 months.
That's
we're going to stay with Dave in the States, somewhere in Tennessee, and we will be. Is it a hospital he's taking us to?
Yeah, it's the same. It's the same hospital that's been used in like Ghost Adventures and stuff like that.
So we're gonna stay the night there. Apparently,
are you gonna bring some equipment?
Oh, we're gonna
I'm gonna dose Ollie with acid and see what happens.
And FLIR and stuff like that. Do you have?
Oh yeah, apparently there is going to be.
Awesome.
Dave's got all the stuff.
You're gonna have a good time.
The shingding.
I have my equipment right here. All I need is a digital voice recorder.
Yeah, Ron and I have a ton of equipment, man. When Ron comes, when Ron comes to meet you, he comes with friggin' bins full of equipment. He can put on a whole production if he had to. He's ready to go. That's one thing. My man's set.
I know. You had to see his face. He wanted me to come just to film something with him. And
we were filming for a documentary.
Yeah.
And Ron, you got the good camera equipment. Come meet me. Guy pops the trunk. It's like he had Best Buy in his trunk. He's like, yeah, I got everything. Lights, boom sticks.
I tend to overpack.
Forget it.
But it was fun. Then we went on our paranormal thing. He left because I brought little Bibles. Remember?
that was freaky, man, that night, man. That was really, really freaky.
Yeah, man.
But when it comes to Sasquatch, I really, really want to have an up close and personal experience. It may never happen, but you never know. You could get lucky. It could be out there.
But Anthony's going to have a good time because Anthony's going out with Mike, Long Island Bigfoot.
One of the best.
But he is so good at. He's good at looking at the environment. He's good at looking at certain bends from a tree, breaks certain ways. So he he can kind of tell you like where
Everything.
they've been, what area they're in. He's really good at studying the whole surrounding. So he's a great guy.
I'm a
to,
military guy. Really dynamite guy if you're gonna go out with somebody.
Has
Do
there ever
you-
been any reports of like I'm not going down that road of like it can't be real because we haven't like found a body or bones. But has there ever been reports of bones being found and then disappearing and stuff like that? You know, like you hear about old reports, don't you, of like giant bones being discovered and then locked away somewhere like deep in the
I've
bottom
heard
of
of
a museum somewhere.
I've heard of teeth. They found teeth.
Mm-hmm.
I think where was it that they had the skull cap, but it ended up being fake. They had it in some monastery. I think in Nepal. They had the alleged skull cap, the dome skull cap of a Sasquatch, but it ended up being stitched together. It was hoaxed, whatever it was. But teeth have been found in multiple locations in Nepal because it was either teeth of like actual Gigantopithecus, because when they crush the teeth up and they do their DNA testing, it comes back to a great ape. And you're talking teeth that were like the size of a shot glass. So it was like nothing we had now. So they knew it was of an ape of great proportions, very large. But they weren't 100% sure what carbon dating if it was a great ape or if it was Sasquatch. But yeah, that's what they've found. I believe rib fragments also were found once. But then again, I'm not 100%, if it was 100% real or what. They're just stories that you hear on TV, and you don't know what's real and bullshit today. It's so hard to deduce.
Because I call it when it comes to like UFOs, like what Lee said earlier, that if you get a clear picture, then it's CGI automatically, and if it's blurry, it's this and that. But I call it the Bigfoot camera phone, that somebody could be filming and it looks beautiful, but then all of a sudden when they get the sighting, it gets all pixelated, like that old flip phone style camera it turns into. So it's hard, man, because there's so many hoaxers out there. But I mean, the forest, there's parts of the forest just even in the States that still have not been explored yet, especially up in Washington, in Seattle, up there. There's areas of redwoods that they haven't even counted them all yet. That's how dense it is.
It's too big.
I mean, with certain things that have happened in this world and everything, I don't know. I don't say no, you know what I mean? Because anything's possible. But
well, let me ask you this. What about the big cats over in the UK, the big black cats? We see images of those all the time, right? And those don't belong out there. Is that true or is that BS?
Yeah. Escape puma.
So it does happen by you. They are around.
I saw a video today actually on TikTok of there was like two big black dogs that were chasing sheep in a field. And then these people must be on the other side of like a hill filming it. And then as they were sort of scanning around looking at these dogs, there was something running through the bushes because it was like a human, but a human running on like all fours. It was really strange.
Yeah. I'll tell you guys something. My friends, this guy's been on my channel a few times. Anthony's actually was on a channel when this guy came on. He's from a group called Manimal Research. They're a group up near Tennessee. And when I find a video link, I'll send it to you guys on the side so you can watch it. They were on a Bigfoot research night, and they got it on film that all of a sudden, during their camping, military trucks pull up right in front of them, and they got it on camera. I'll try to find a link for you guys later. And they went to the military and said, "Hey, are we not supposed to be here?" "Oh, no, you guys go camp. You guys do what you're doing, and we'll be gone in an hour or 2 hours." Well, that military vehicles, they never left until they left. To the point they walked up and say, "Hey, I thought you guys were going to leave. We're not leaving until you guys are leaving."
And see, this is the sort of thing I was meaning about. Like, if there've been any stories of bones being found or things like that. Did you guys hear about the that TikToker that supposedly took a picture of, I think it was in Canada, a video of a
We
giant.
did a show back when it
a
was
whole
Musty
show about
Audio.
it.
And
Yeah.
with you.
There was he essentially it looked like a giant man standing on top of a hill. He tried to find that.
Oh, that's
I
a
know what
hoax.
you're talking about.
Yeah,
Yes,
then
that's
there
a
was
known hoax.
what? Well, I don't know if it is. He's
He
dead
died,
now.
didn't he?
Are you talking about the Marble Mountain Bigfoot?
I don't know what the mountain was
No,
called.
where was it now?
A
Oh,
youth
God.
group was camping in the wilderness of California, and they
No.
snapped a picture
Well,
of
it's
the
Canada.
Sasquatch standing on the mountain.
No.
Well,
It
they're
was
talking about
definitely
Canada.
Yeah.
This was an actual fucking giant. I mean,
Yeah.
this was huge.
I
It
remember
was-
giant bones, but it was known to be fake.
No,
this-
it wasn't bones. It
was-
was an actual. It looked like it was something that was stood up there, living like stood up.
whatever it was the size of like
Do you have the
Oh,
footage? I
oh,
would
yeah,
love
a
to see it.
small building. It
Yeah.
was
Really?
not
Yeah.
a small building. It was probably as big as.
I'd
Would
say
you say it
small
was
building.
bigger than-
Yeah, it was big.
it was-
Yeah.
It was,
But
as
and then
big,
it
was
was
as big as a house.
Yeah, then there was like communications masts up there, but we did like Google maps and kind of realized that they were in the wrong place. But this guy did like a series of TikToks talking about it, where the it ended up with there was like black cars outside his house and stuff like that. But anyway, he was only he had a wife, family, everything on his TikTok up to the point where he took the video of the giant was just normal shit. Just him
Really?
being out and around, him with his daughter and his wife, and then it escalated where he was trying to film this thing again. He went back to the same spot like 2 days later, and then there was like a black building there which wasn't there, which had just sprouted up over 48 hours, I think it was. But yeah, he either dropped dead of a heart attack or he killed himself. I can't remember where it was, but yeah, he is dead now. But he did in his last TikTok that he put up, he said he hoaxed everything, but it's a really weird TikTok because he's kind of set his camera up on a tripod and he's sort of stood really awkwardly and he's constantly looking to the side. And
He's being
sorry, that was his second to last one. And then that was like the last full video he did. And then the very last post he did before he died was a video of him seemingly like walking through his house in the dark saying, look, this is probably the last thing I'm ever going to put up on TikTok. But he said, I didn't hoax any of this. This was all real. And then essentially 48 hours later, he was a goner. But yeah, it was very strange, like really, really interesting.
I would love to see. I've never seen that. I would love to see that.
If you go back, was that on Alien Addict or is that Musty Audio show?
It's on Musty Audio. It's on our Spotify.
I'm
Is
gonna
it?
go check that out.
Yeah.
Might be worth pulling
I
that
think
down.
you did it video. We did it video on there.
So it must be on Alien Addict then.
No, it's on Spotify.
Yeah, but we must.
It was before we merged.
Was it?
Carlos Ola.
Oh,
But it is, the video footage is there. I think. I'm pretty sure it's because we were showing stuff. You wouldn't have done it like that on the podcast. So
Yeah, because I'm sure. I'll try and pull it down. Then we can put it up on Alien Addict because it was a good show. That.
But let me ask you guys, the whole panel, do you guys think at some point there's a chance that somebody may shoot a Sasquatch and pull one out of the woods? I think it's possible.
I mean, there is stories that some
In the
people
field, bro.
have, and it was taken away by, force, military. So it might have already happened.
You know what sold me on Sasquatch when they asked Jane Goodall, the primatologist, they asked her, they had said to her, do you think a great ape could go undetected in the forest? And she said yes. She said, without a doubt, great apes of Sasquatch size could go undetected in the forests for many years. They have food to sustain them. They probably live in small packs. There's probably not many of them. And when that came from Jane Goodall, I really took that like as a credible person saying, you know, this could really be out there. Are you familiar with Jane Goodall?
No,
I've heard the name.
Gorillas in the Mist. But Jane
Oh.
Goodall, she's a
Oh,
primatologist. Yeah.
Yeah.
yeah. Thank you.
World renowned, and you know, for her to say something like that,
Who was the lady that Sigourney Weaver played from Gorillas in the Mist now? Anyway, it doesn't matter. But she's familiar with,
talking about,
Diane Fossey. Is that right?
I believe so. Yeah.
Fuck yes, I am
when they
intelligent.
had her in the village studying all the gorillas.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a great movie.
It made me cry, that movie.
I think there's a chance. It's in the same, like, isn't there tribes in the Amazon which still are adamant that there is like dinosaur type creatures? Like I forgot what they call it. They have a different name for it, don't they? The world's a big place. Yeah, I think sometimes because we have like we can all be sit here. Or you guys are in two different parts of America. I'm on a small island. Ollie's in England, and because we can get together and have like a conversation where there's no lag or anything, you forget just how big the world is now.
Yeah,
True. Yep. Good point.
I'm on a small island, by the way, too, Lee.
A long one.
I'm on a very small island. It's 17 miles by 9 miles wide.
That's.
But he does exist, huh? Yeah. I mean, it's one.
That's still bigger. Still.
Yeah,
that's
There
beautiful.
you go.
Yeah.
That's right.
That's cool.
I got
This guy, yeah.
He's hanging
That's
out.
my boy. Gonna be sending him out.
What do you think would happen? What do you think would happen if?
They put him in a fucking zoo. I'll answer the question before you even ask it.
100%. They put him in a zoo.
Sorry, Lee. Sorry. What were you going to say?
No. But I mean, if we didn't find one, but if there was like real proof came out, because I was I know, again, go back to that hearing thing. It turned out to be a bit of a nothing burger this week, but I always go back to when we were all like in lockdown a couple of years ago, and then that whole thing of like basically the military coming out and saying that US airspace was being invaded with impunity by vehicles that they didn't think were theirs or a foreign adversary, and everyone just went, huh, and then carried on with the rest of their lives. I was really disappointed with people.
Yeah.
So I think this is the problem. Like I don't understand where. In some ways, it feels like conspiracy culture is more on the surface now because of things like the History Channel documentaries and things like that, and the fact that there's more people out there doing like independent content as well, on like YouTube and stuff. But on the other side of it, I think there's such a nonchalance to this sort of stuff now. I don't know if anyone cares anymore.
It's been oversold on every channel. Everywhere you turn, it's UFOs, ghosts, cryptids, everywhere. You know, you can't get away from it today. So people really don't give a shit anymore, to be honest with you. You know,
but there's still a lot of passionate people.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, no, but it's definitely pockets now, isn't it? Pockets.
I think what you're saying, Lee, there is you think the majority of the population would actually give a shit if anything actually came out and said Bigfoot's real. They'd be like, pick up the phone and go, "Oh, Bigfoot's real. Oh, okay, yeah,
that's exactly what would happen.
Let's see what the Kardashians are doing."
Different. Like when I was younger, and like it was 9/11 was a big thing for me. Like when I started looking at that sort of stuff, and then I was there, man. But you had like Zeitgeist came out after that, and then I sort of slipped into watching David Icke stuff, and then Alex Jones and the when he snuck into Bohemian Grove. Back then, conspiracy culture felt like it was really pushing against something, but that there doesn't seem to be that anymore. I'm a bit confused by it
because it's saturated. They've saturated everything with social media. Everywhere you look, it's just bing pops up everywhere. And and now it's instant debunking. like as soon as something is said, you got 95 shows talking about how it's fake, or 95 shows saying how it's real. It's just
Right.
saturated.
And once the government came out and, oh, we're studying UFOs, we have ORSAP and ATIP and this one and that one, people turned around and said, oh, maybe it's real now, And then now you have celebrities coming out of the woodwork, starting their own channels. We were just talking about it the other day. Paul Giamatti is starting his own show called Chinwag now about UFOs. I mean, Paul Giamatti, the guy's multimillionaire. He's a legend. He's a very famous actor, Paul Giamatti, and he's on the show Billions. And now he needs a UFO show. Lady Gaga needs a UFO show. I mean, you got to be kidding me, man.
It's really weird.
Invading our space.
They want to invade our space. That's it. It's because it's popular culture now. Everybody wants to be a part of the movement.
I think it's trying to stay relevant as well, because one thing I've noticed as far as like a podcast or like YouTube stuff, when somebody that's already involved in like the entertainment industry starts a podcast, it's awful, because it loses that rawness where it's just people, that decide that they're interested in stuff, something like that, and it's all a bit renegade and it's all a bit like Wild West, and then you get these people that come on which have got budgets and sound stages and everything's like really crisp, and they're well oiled enough not to say all the time, for instance. And I don't think it hits the same as like what proper user created content is.
Yeah.
But there is also another issue, not just outside people coming in, it's people are within the communities. This is what I'm talking about. This is probably the worst in the Bigfoot community. Otherwise, there's Bigfoot cons all over the place. I went to a Bigfoot conference last year. There's all these Bigfoot conferences. Now, if I try to ask these groups if I can have a spot and speak, which I have, I get turned down every single time. Why? Because there's a certain good old boy groups, the older groups in the Bigfoot that don't want younger people to come up and tell their story because they want theirs to be the only story out there. So there are problems within that. So what happens now is if I had this great evidence, if I caught this Bigfoot that we saw, in 84, this older group that are all in these cons, they're the ones who also call it fake and stuff because they don't want to compete with you. So there's a lot of issues, not just
that's very similar with the UFO community.
The UFO, let me tell you something, man. I love the UFO community. I mean, I love doing what we do, but it's a cutthroat business. I mean, you got to see that. 1 minute you're friends with somebody, the next minute you're getting stabbed in the back of your head. 1 minute you're helping somebody's channel grow, the next minute they're throwing you under the bus. It's like you don't know which way to move. You don't know who to be friends with, what to do. I mean, it's fucking insane. Like,
I know 1 minute you partner up with somebody, and the next minute you get demonetized.
It's fucking nuts. Yeah, right.
and there's people who, like, if they're in UFOs, that's all they want to hear. You bring up Bigfoot or anything else, they don't want to hear it.
They're not interested.
I find it so odd. Like
they don't want to try to do a comparison, or
we're getting an echo, boys. We're getting that echo. We're getting
there's a lot of
echo.
stories, guys, that there's orbs around it. There's lights in the sky, but nobody wants to go down that rabbit hole. They don't want to. No, you can't bring in UFOs. Why not? If you hear a Bigfoot and you see a light, do you not want to study that? Do you not want to get to the bottom of it? I'm not saying UFOs are connected with Bigfoot, but there's a few stories that
Eric, there's so many people that try to connect Bigfoot to UFOs, and that's one of the reasons why I've always wanted to do a Bigfoot show, but never had any. I've never known any people that know shit about Bigfoot, and you boys, you follow Bigfoot, so I find it interesting that there's 3 guys here that have paranormal UFO shows. Here's what I like about you 3 is you have what I would say me and Lee believe it is, and that is it's linked. Whatever the fuck it is, it's all linked.
Yeah, I agree.
You guys speak about Bigfoot. You guys speak about the paranormal. You speak about ghosts. You speak about UFOs. You speak about aliens. And the majority of the audience, I would say, I think slowly on this channel is starting to come around to, okay, it could be a mixture of everything. Maybe the world is just a fucked up place.
I agree.
But there's so many people that go, hang about, you can't talk about fucking Bigfoot because it's fucking aliens and UFOs, or it's this, that, and the other.
Mm-hmm.
What if it's just a very fucking weird place we live in? You know,
It is a very weird place we live in.
It is.
The whole lot of it is interesting, man. The whole bag's interesting. I'm into it all. So, you know, my whole crew, all of us, we all love the same thing. All our entire audience, they're into the same thing, and there's nothing wrong with that, man. It's all strange. It's all weird. It's all unknown, and it's all interesting, right?
when I tweeted this out, what is it we had last night? What was it? The congressional hearing.
Yep.
I said my tweet was something like, "Well, we're going to do a Bigfoot show because you heard fuck all about the congressional hearing, but they never ruled out Bigfoot." So
Yeah, but
That's it. That's
guys,
it. Yeah.
if you call yourself a researcher, right? You got to be prepared for everything. You're going out on a Bigfoot research. What if the noises you're hearing are not of an animal or Bigfoot? What if it's of a ghost? I mean, you have to be open-minded to it. I know a person who went on a paranormal investigation and they saw red eyes on a growl, and they saw Bigfoot during a paranormal investigation. So you want to open yourself up just for the possibility of what it could be that you're seeing, right?
How do you know Bigfoot's not flying the UFO?
No,
Nobody's proven that it's not. It could be anything, man. It's all crazy. It's all weird. And it's fun to investigate this stuff, is it not? It's interesting.
What if the UFOs are here for Bigfoot? What if they're as intrigued? What if the aliens are as intrigued about Bigfoot as we are about the aliens? The aliens actually don't give a shit about us. They're like, what the fuck's that thing living in America?
Yeah. We're like ants probably to aliens, They could kill us. We're like cattle.
Do you buy the whole Bigfoot is an alien and it's something to do with...
No, I believe he's from Earth, always been from Earth. But I've heard the stories about the wormholes and stuff that they've gone through. They come out and all that. I mean, I've done shows on those theories, but it comes down today for me, personally, they've always been on Earth. They're part of Earth. Like a bear, like a lion.
Just a normal everyday creature.
Yep.
Just an animal, yeah.
That's what I believe.
But a little bit more intelligent than a human.
Well, I mean, it would make sense, wouldn't it? If you've
he's lived this long, right?
Yeah. But I mean, if you're going to have something that kind of looks like a big ape that's walking around bipedal, it makes sense if it's just an animal we haven't discovered and it hasn't got like a flying saucer parked around the corner.
Long Island Bigfoot's in the chat right now. He's actually here. He says that there are Bigfoot in the UK as well.
He's
interviewed people.
Oh no, I'm sure I'm sure he's right, but the thing is, we are so jaded when it comes to conspiracy sort of stuff in the UK. There's just nothing. Everybody's too concerned about making a fool out of themselves to actually talk about anything interesting.
Mm-hmm.
We're all over the Loch Ness. Well, we used to be all over the Loch Ness monster, but that's kind of
back
taken
in the 70s, maybe.
Yeah, I mean,
do you honestly think something's in the loch, though, or
I think there's probably loads of things in any
I mean,
sort
like,
of
I think it's like an eel or something
size
like
of a
that.
plesiosaurus,
Sturgeon.
like the Loch Ness monster. Do you think that is in there?
I think it's just like a big sturgeon or a eel or something like
carp.
that. Yeah.
Huge carp.
Huge
Yeah, because that's when when you see any of the stuff, the photographs, apart from like the famous hoaxed one, it just tends to be like it looks like something snake-like that's breaking the surface of the water. So, I'd like to. That's the thing. I watch WWE every week with my son. Every week we save Raw and SmackDown to watch on Saturday. The wrestling would be fucking rubbish if I sat and watched that and went, oh well, they're not actually fighting each other. So
Right.
you buy in because it's
Do
much
you tell
more
your son
fun
they
to
are
buy in.
knocking the shit out of each other for
Of
real?
course I do. You've got to buy into these things, otherwise it's just why rip magic from the world for yourself?
Here's the thing: in America, in the United States, you can go up into the mountains, or even up in Canada. You can get lost in the wilderness out there, man. I mean, literally, it's so vast out there. You can walk for a week and still not be completely through the wilderness. So, if you take Sasquatch, for example, let's say there's only 1,500 left worldwide. Let's say they only stay in very small, secluded groups of 6 to 8 in small packs, family gathered groups. You're never going to spot anything like that. You can go walk in the woods where bears are, every 500 feet, you'll see a bear, right? There's great abundance of them. But we'll go in the woods, you won't see a bear. The odds of seeing a bear are slim to none.
I'm not.
That's what I'm saying.
sure.
I only saw 3 bears
And there's
during my hunting trip in my
thousands of them.
lifetime.
There's tens of thousands of them, and the odds are slim to none to seeing a bear if you're out camping or something.
Jennifer, thank you so much for the super chat. I'm not sure if you're referring to Long Island Bigfoot about Bigfoot being in the UK and us not seeing the tracks, or if you're referring to the US there. But I think because Jennifer's from the UK, so I think she's referring to the UK because I can't.
I think she's just referring to us talking about them being animals and not like magic.
And Jen, you don't need to super chat again.
I think what she means is
I'll keep an eye out for it. Just let us know what you're referring to there.
I think she means
the
Bigfoot
tracks.
in
Yeah,
the
there's
woods.
not loads. There's not loads of tracks, is there? But it certainly in the UK. I need to look at it in the UK because I've never heard of Bigfoot in the UK ever.
As far as tracks go, there are reports of you'll see a line of tracks and they just stop. It's also alleged that they climb trees too and jump from tree to tree. They are ape,
Is that why they say that this thing can just kind of like
vanish?
Because
it's those two theories. One that it goes through a portal and just disappears. If you buy into that it's an interdimensional being, if you subscribe to that theory. And the other theory is that it could climb trees and it could stop its track, jump on a tree and jump from tree to tree to throw you off. And they're fast like lightning too.
I think the other one to think is as well is that I wonder what I said that was so correct.
I think that was earlier.
Oh, if it's an animal, like we always.
I would say you're 80% because you never 100% like. Right, go on.
My mouth was moving. Of course, I was right. There might be, because I just thought then when you said that there might be only 1,000 of them or something like that, they might actually be like evolutionarily bound to small groups, because it made me think then that there's a shark, I think it's like the Greenland shark or something like that, that's got like
the one that lives under the ice way deep down.
Yeah, and it's got a theoretical lifespan of something like 400 to 500 years. There's a whale as well, which can live for a couple of 100 years. So if this was an animal that had like a ridiculously long lifespan, you wouldn't need the same breeding seasons that we need as people. We live like, if we're lucky, we get 100 years. So we need to breed like fuck all the time. Otherwise, there just isn't enough of us. We already know like Western countries aren't actually having enough babies. So it could be a situation like that. You could have like a little group of these things that they could just be hanging out and not needing to create more and more, so that you're not going to see them.
Right.
Imagine you had a little, you had like a family unit of like 50 of them that just hid from people, and they could carry on doing that for like 400 years.
I want to make
And the population is always in check, like the same amount. So when
Yeah.
they die off, it's always
I want to
around.
make a correction, because Jennifer wrote talking about Eric saying tracks vanish. I think what I was, if Jennifer's talking about my story, what I was talking about vanish, not like they vanished. They went up to a point, then it stopped. The tracks going forward stopped. Everything behind it was still there, if that's what she's talking about. So I wasn't saying the previous tracks, they were there, then it was gone. No, it just, the tracks stopped going. Like you following the footsteps, then there was no more footsteps. But he could have climbed. Remember, in California mountains, they're high trees. These things are super high.
Redwood trees are gigantic.
It could have went up quickly and then stopped moving around until they watched us walk away.
Eric, did it leave big tracks then?
Well, they left. Remember, these mountains when
I know you're 11.
The whole thing's covered, but it left. There was dents in the ground. Now,
Indentations.
back in '84, we didn't. We're hunters. We don't have stuff to paste and make footprints. But you saw the evidence of things breaking things while I was running. So there was stuff there. And then we went back the next day. We marked on the side of the road where it was at. So the next day we come back in the daytime. We went back in the daytime. You could tell where we ran, the stuff was there. But again, when we look further the next day, walking further out in the woods, we didn't see nothing else. Like no more prints, nowhere. Just to the spot where we were running. You
were 11 though. Did your parents report this that you guys saw?
Oh God, my family don't give a shit about report. I only had a father. My mom left when I was a baby. Our family ain't gonna report shit because they know. Listen, our family knows the regular public will criticize. And the thing is, listen, this is 1984.
Yeah. No, I'm trying to imagine now.
Who would you report it to? Listen, if you tell a ranger's going to believe you, but they're not going to report it themselves because then they got to fill out reports. There's nobody that to report it to. If you especially.
I'm just trying to think now. Even if you did it now and you're out there and go, "Hi, I want to report a Bigfoot."
I'm not saying real hunters. Most hunters don't give a shit about reporting. They see it, they talk about it. It's part of their story now. They're not the ones going to go to a news channel and try to sell something or tell a news. You know what I mean? It stays within the camp groups. That's just the culture that we live in.
In America, there have been cops that have reported Sasquatch, forestry workers report Sasquatch, firefighters. I mean, every walk of life has witnessed Sasquatch and reported it so far. Doctors, lawyers, I mean, you name it, there's been somebody that, they've reported it. So far be it for me to say that every single person that reported something is lying, or every single person that witnessed something that they couldn't explain was lying. I don't believe that. There's a lot of people that bullshit and hoax. Yes, happens all the time. But if you separate them from the people that are telling the truth, I think there's a lot of people that really witness things out there that they just cannot explain.
But the average person don't know who to report things to, like the official place. Like a lot of UFO, I guarantee a lot of people don't know that you can report stuff to MUFON.
So this is interesting here because David Paulides missing 411, and UFO chick. We're gonna get you on. I know you don't. I know you like to do spontaneous, but it's like there's 5 of us. I want you. That sounds wrong. I want you all to myself, a married man. Me and Lee want to get you.
Oh shit!
On.
Watch, your wife's behind you with a bat, Ollie.
No, that UFO chick. She's great on Twitter. She's awesome. She needs to start a channel. She is awesome. She knows a lot.
Yep.
About the subject. I think she's been into this for a long time. But David Paulides missing 411. I nearly brought that up earlier. Have you ever thought that whatever that thing is could be linked to that missing 411 with the missing people?
I'm sure a small percentage probably is.
There have been stories of Sasquatch grabbing children and women and just running off with them, right? We've had people on the show talk about that, Eric.
Yeah. Listen, I have a professor that lives in Japan. His name is Brinks. Brinks. He even has books about the Hemagon. The Hemagon is just a Japanese Bigfoot, and he's actually shown graphs of their 411 of missing people, and he showed us the map of missing or hotspots that people have seen the Hemagon Bigfoot, and when he put the map together, they matched. They almost match perfectly with missing people, with sightings. Now, it's not guaranteed that the Bigfoot took them, but it's interesting, right?
How they match. Sure.
And I wonder if we took his 411 in America, and I wonder if we did maps on each other, you know, if they'll come close. But it's hard. That's hard because America is so big, and Canada, I mean, he reports everything on the 411. But what the most interesting thing about that missing 401 is some of the people that gone missing, they had certain kind of injuries that they couldn't like just walk away from camp. And when they were disappearing, there was like no footmarks, no nothing. Like if an animal attacked some of these cases, how come there's no drag marks? So there are some very interesting.
What about the clothes being folded and left behind the site?
Yes, the clothes.
The weirdest thing.
It was the kids. Wasn't there a kid that made it like all the way over a mountain, like a couple of days walk or something?
400 miles away or something like that.
It's just insane.
But it
So
makes me
there's
think,
A
right?
little kid.
there's something like for want of like stating the obvious. There's definitely something paranormal to the
100%.
to the 411 stuff.
And I feel whatever these things are, not just the Bigfoot, that these beings, whatever, they know the weaker person, like the person that's kind of hurt, like we're gonna take this one because this one's easy to take than this healthy young person. I believe there's something to that.
But now we're going into something completely
I believe a
different.
Bigfoot knows if you're injured or you're kind of hurt in a way.
Right, so we're going into something completely different here because everybody.
Why I took over Ollie's channel because he was weak.
Everybody thinks of Bigfoot as this sweet, innocent man, you know.
That's great. I love it.
Oh,
but
so tired to see it. I'm gonna fucking delete that one.
That was gonna be the. That was gonna be
the.
Listen, the guy we interviewed, Jeff Harding, did get hit in the foot by an item that Bigfoot threw at him. Did hurt his leg.
Who is that?
He threw something at his foot.
He threw a log at him in his report.
Fucking hell! What a bastard!
So and here's this story. Our buddy Michigan Rob believed that it was sad to hear that his girlfriend passed away a month later of some heart conditions, and he believes that heart condition came from the Bigfoot roar, the sound vibrations that pushed his girlfriend off the boat.
Wow.
And he believes it to this day. Now we can't prove it, of course, but I mean, so there's no. It's not all flowers with these things.
I mean, do you think this? Do you think it's hostile then?
I think if you threaten it, I think it's like any other animal, right? If you there's a Bigfoot family that has babies.
No, but Eric, let's go back to David Paulides missing 411 because there's a lot of innocent children that have gone missing.
Might just be fucking hungry.
They're easy to take. They're easier to take than a human, than a grown up.
So what I'm saying there is if you think if that is I mean, I don't want to link Harry and the Hendersons to fucking taking children because
no, but fucking tigers can take children. Like the
okay. Let me put it another way.
Mountain lion.
Let me put it another way. Gorillas, I think. You saw, was it Harambe or whatever? Was it the gorilla that took the child and
Yes,
it
dragged
snatched
it through the water.
It
Yeah,
didn't,
Karimbe,
but
Karimbe.
it didn't actually hurt the child. It
Dragged it.
kind of like took the child
Mhm.
because that's how a gorilla would take its own child.
correct.
He-
Yeah.
And
He was
and
he
you-
was taking the child because while the child fell in, when they all started coming, that's how he protects him. He dragged them away to protect them from the
From
other
the others,
gorillas.
right?
And then you guys must have seen those like TikToks or whatever of the gorilla like against the glass with the baby, and it's like that, and it's
Yeah.
and you can see that it's got a human emotion there.
Yep.
I can't imagine it. So if Bigfoot is potentially us, just a different version of a hairy, a ginger, giant Stephen Greer lookalike. I really struggle to imagine that thing being sinister and taking kids or whatever and doing whatever it's doing.
No, okay. Because think about it, right? Did anyone see those? There was a fucking insane TikTok that someone took where a bear they were just stood like on the side of a road, and a bear came up and like reared up on two legs and stood next to this girl, and because she was so separated between like the real life and real world, she decided to like take a selfie with it. And it's her taking a selfie with a fucking wild bear towering over her.
Because she
And the
threw
bear-
the bear off its game. Like it was.
And it's like
probably like
the next thing is the bear's like, "What do I do? I throw peace signs up? I don't
If that
know.
was
I've
a
never done
if
this."
that was a polar bear that hadn't eaten for about
done. Polar bear,
month.
you're done.
Yeah,
You
but,
don't eat. Listen,
but
polar
if
bears-
that bear happened to have been hungry, it would have ended wrong. What happened was
But-
it went
Just
down.
give the bear some cocaine.
Yeah,
But polar bears.
not
are a
seen that
whole
film
nother-
yet.
Oh, you gotta watch it.
oh, it's tremendous.
Polar bears are a whole nother story, though. They don't eat vegetables. They don't eat any greenery. Nothing. It's
No.
all meat.
Mhm.
They're hungry. A human's there. You're gonna get devoured. That's it. Polar bears are one of the most
Yeah.
vicious bears out there, man.
Mm.
They'll kill anything.
But that's the thing, isn't it? The animals.
But bears,
It
regular
is what they
brown
do with
bears,
things.
black bears, even
Yeah.
grizzly bears, they've become somewhat domesticated now. They
Mm.
know people. They're used to seeing people. They're used to seeing cars. They know that they can go in trash cans and get food. You go back 100 years ago, they didn't know how to do that, but now they
Yeah.
do. You know what I mean?
Mm.
They know what a campground is. They know people
They
bring
adapt.
food to a campground. They know that they can go there and find food or whatever people are going to feed them. That they've adapted to that. And I'm sure if Sasquatch is out there, it's adapted to those situations too. And not only that, it lives in the fucking forest. If
Hmm.
there is Sasquatch out there, it is the master of its surroundings. It's in the forest 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Just like you know how to walk on your hardwood floors, you know where the squeaky spots are and how to tiptoe through and be quiet in your house. Just think how they do it through the forest. They
Mhm.
know every little hiding spot, every little nook and cranny. They know what tree is the easiest one to climb up, down. They're the master of their domain, just like we would be if we lived in the forest.
Mhm.
They've adapted to that.
Yeah.
So,
We're masters of our own house.
and if you go out into the middle of fucking nowhere, how you gonna spot them? They just blend in with their surroundings, man.
Mm.
There's videos where you see there's like a Sasquatch stands up and then it ducks down next to some rocks. You can't even tell the thing's there anymore. They just know how to acclimate and blend into their surroundings.
They can smell you. They can sense you. They know you're there.
They know you're coming from miles away, probably.
Has anyone got anything from like thermal imaging?
For Sasquatch, yeah, there's thermal imaging out there. Absolutely.
Because that'd be the really interesting one because they can't hide from that.
There's a
Bet
bunch
they're gonna be warm as fuck under all that fur. As
They
well.
got them on drone footage now. They got them on thermal. They got them on night vision footage. But then again, the problem is you don't know what's real and what's fake.
Well, there was a drone not so long ago, wasn't there? Drone footage of a thing. What did you
Yeah, the
guys think
guys
of that?
flying the drone and you see it going below.
Mm.
Again, you don't know if somebody staged that.
Yeah,
You spend a couple grand, you get a really good costume today. You're up 200-300 feet in a drone. You could pull that off if you really wanted to, right?
When was the first one? The first filmed piece of footage. Was it 70s, 60s?
I believe Patterson Gimlin was that
Yeah.
1971?
What did they call her? I can't remember.
Patty.
Patty, that's it. So later the show on the Mandela effect, and we never remembered Bigfoot as having
1967.
Titties.
tits.
Yep.
1967.
67. Thank you, Eric.
Yeah,
Yep.
we never like. But there's people that have done like anatomy classes on this thing, and like people have pointed out, well, like professors and said, well, look at the muscle structure around here, how it moves, this, that, and the other. But looking back at that piece of footage now, it does look like somebody in a costume.
No, I don't think so.
I'm only saying that because I look at how a gorilla moves, and how that moves is completely different.
Let me
And
put
it
this
looks
out
like
there.
a gorilla.
Let me put this out there for you. Back in what was it, Eric? 67?
1967.
1967. In order to see the muscle movement on something like that.
So Anthony, just do you think this is real?
Yeah.
You think this is the real deal? Cool. You've got me. Go.
You would have had to glue every single piece of hair on a naked body in order to see that happen. And the mid-tarsal break. So when you step with our foot, you step down flat. You can move your toes.
I've
but
seen
you
that.
can't-
I've
you
seen the way it
can't move-
moves.
You can't move and grab with the front of your foot. You can't bend your front of your foot in half. And when they walk, they grab the front of the ground with them as they're in motion. Okay? We can't do that. So a man in a suit or a woman in a suit, no, because we don't have a mid-tarsal break. We cannot do that. So that's another reason why I think that footage is real. And there's people that even went and did further analysis on that footage. And it's believed that there's a juvenile Sasquatch in the wooded area off to the left-hand side as that Sasquatch is walking away. So there's a good possibility that you interrupted that Sasquatch either collecting water for the young, and two guys come in a horse, guy pulls out a camera, startled it. It's just natural reaction to just walk away. I'm here by myself. Let me go. The kids know the juveniles know to disappear into the forest. But again, I've heard from makeup artists, people that do CGI imagery, you name it. I've heard their analysis on that. You would have literally had to glue hair on a naked person's body, hair by hair, to get that done. No, but nobody's going to do that back in the 1960s. Patterson Gimlin didn't have the funding to do that. You see the muscle structure.
Even now, you need someone that knows what they're doing for that.
No doubt in my mind,
Yeah.
that's real.
Yeah, I strongly believe.
I will say this for the modern lady as well. I like the tits are realistic.
Why put breasts on a Sasquatch in 67? You got two guys out in the woods, going to hunt and try to get footage. Why wouldn't they make it a male Sasquatch? Why a female?
For whatever reason, though, this photograph's doctored, isn't it?
Is it doctored?
Yeah, because whatever's down the bottom seems to be drawn in, and if you look,
I don't know where you got that.
No, that's it is the original. That was just
no, but just bring it up again, Ollie.
That's probably not the original.
The back leg disappears.
Yeah,
I think that somebody add that in or something.
No,
the Patterson Gimlin footage.
I can't remember what it is. They put some writing underneath it, but it's the original. But I just cut that and zoomed in because it was the best one that I could. The reason why I did that one is because it was the best detailed one that you could actually see the breasts.
Yeah.
When me and you were on, that was just from our old show when we
if
did.
That was the original. Yeah. It would have been deep. Somebody.
Yeah, but that squiggly stuff that was on that was an actual that was on the picture. I zoomed in just to get the breast.
Right,
That's me. That's my bad.
But Ollie Lee, that is a major Mandela effect in the male deaf community about the breast.
Yeah,
is it?
Yeah,
is it?
I remember.
What about the name though? Patty.
Yeah. But
what about the name? Is that?
Mandela effect. Patterson, Gimlin, they named it Patty. His name,
okay.
Yeah. Patterson Gimlin Patty.
But I have no memory of that being like a female. None
Really?
whatsoever. Yeah, in my head, that was like a muscular, like
I was saying, wait, Leo,
male-looking
like,
ape.
where
Yeah.
did the breast come from? When somebody
Well,
told me about it, I'm like,
let's
"There's
let's
breast
face
now?"
it. If it was fake today, the breast would be up here. The breast would be here. They won't be
Yeah,
down
right.
here.
Yeah.
It is. I suppose it is. It is quite fitting in this day and age that it's transitioned.
See something.
It I don't remember. I don't remember that it
I
having
don't
boobs.
remember it
I
either.
don't.
I only remember them starting to talk about that just recently
Yeah.
over the last couple of years. They never talked about, oh, there was breasts and everything. Everybody acts like, oh yeah, I've seen that. I knew that the whole long.
No, I didn't know it all along. I've seen
Yeah.
it, recently.
Yeah, that's it. Like they've been talking about that for like last couple of years. I think they brought that out, but I don't remember that at all. So it is a Mandela effect, I guess, because man, I
I
can't
mean,
say how many times I looked at that photo. I never noticed that.
yeah, I remember as a kid looking at that, like, because I had like, and I've shown it. I'm not going
That's
to bring it
something
out.
I
I've
would think I would remember. Like
Not
that.
only, well, you know what?
Yeah.
The first thing you think of is Bigfoot male, right?
Mhm.
You never think Bigfoot female. I mean, growing up, Bigfoot male is what I thought growing up as a kid. Female never came to mind. So maybe that's why we didn't notice.
But I would have definitely, when I saw that as a kid, I'd have definitely gone, boobies.
No, but that's what I mean
Yeah.
because I've seen the pictures blown up all the
Mhm.
time like that, and I'm just like, how would I not notice that?
You
That's
know
crazy.
what? I have Dr. Jeff Meldrum's business card. I'll reach out to him this week because I'm almost 100% positive he has an original photo still shot from the actual images in his office of that. And maybe he can email it to me so we could do a comparison on that.
Oh, imagine if it's
Oh,
one of
that'd
those
be cool.
Mandela effect things where
That would be cool, right? 'Cause now you got me
where that's normal.
that would be pretty
Yeah.
cool.
No, the Mandela effect. I know. We're not talking about that this properly here. I thought that was just people misremembering stuff, but the longer that's gone on, I am convinced there is something to that.
Try it.
Like convinced.
I honestly
That
just
Ford logo blew my fucking mind
just
apart.
however, I mean, if you're around about our sort of age, I think we're all similar sort of ages. Ron, are you like 48? Are you 47 or something?
52.
52. You're looking good, my man. So we're all very, very similar. I'm 42. I'm 43
I'm
this
the
year.
same age as you, Ali.
So I would say this, and I tested the Mandela effect on my parents. Oh, look at that. Beautiful. Beautiful. It sounds very just.
My fucking son would have loved that.
I think my boy would as well. I would say try this. If you don't believe Mandela effect is a thing, just say to your parents or somebody who's a little bit older, repeat after me, mirror, mirror. Oh, how's it go? Just say that to them. And then go to the original Disney piece on YouTube, because it's there still, and
I
show
doubt
them it.
it.
You
Well,
will blow
you're
their
on-
fucking
Yeah,
mind.
I did that. Eric did a show on that, and I went and actually downloaded the original. I think it was from the 30s or something like that. And it
Yes.
was the old witch or queen or whatever that she and a magic mirror on the wall or something like. And I'm just like, what?
Yeah, that's right. You did do that, Ron. You downloaded the old footage from the 30s or whatever. I remember that.
Boys, my mother tries to speak the Queen's English, but she said to me, "Fuck off." When she saw that, she's in the late 60s. Is it early? I don't know. Sorry, Mum. I don't know. Anyway, she was like, "No." I'm like, she says, that's just YouTube that's changed it.
Nah.
Somebody's done that. I says, "No, Mum, that's the piece. It's never been it's always been magic mirror on the wall. Who's the fairest of them all? It's never been mirror, mirror. It's never been mirror,
I
mirror,
only knew
people.
it as mirror, mirror on the wall.
If any motherfucker in this chat right now says that it's always been magic mirror, then you're from a different reality, my friend,
yeah.
because it's always been mirror, mirror.
Now,
Eric, you're keeping quiet. Is it been magic mirror for you?
Oh no, it's mirror, mirror, always.
Mhm.
I thought I never watched the cunt.
but why do you think these things happen though? Could it be that different dimensions bleed into our dimension and that changes something like that to cause that to happen? Where we think one way and it's actually another? Like, how does something like that happen? Mandela effect.
Could be I know people could like connect with
Dimensional
certain
shift,
quite a lot, the certain turn on. I also don't have you heard about the vanishing internet theory?
No, I have not.
It's something that blew up like not so long ago, where if you search for things like on Google and stuff like that, and it comes up with like fucking 72 million. I'll probably bastardize this. Yeah. 72 million search results. If you actually keep searching through that, there's actually only like 100 search results that it keeps giving you over and over and over again.
Really?
It's really fucking weird.
I found that too. Yep.
Yeah. There's people that can do a much better job of doing it than I can explain. I implore anyone to go and look at it. So at some point, stuff's disappeared. Stuff is being like disappeared. I remember
it definitely is.
Yeah, I brought it up on this show loads of times that back in the sort of Wild West YouTube days, there was, and it don't get me wrong, even if this was fake, it was a thing. I remember a video being on YouTube, and it was a guy that supposedly filmed what he said was a UFO. You couldn't see anything because it was just like blinding, sparky blue light that was over this hill, and then he run off and he went back the next day, and there was like this sort of charred area that was there, and the story was that a UFO had come in the middle of the night, and there was I think it might have been in Africa, and there was a small village there, and this UFO had just zapped this entire village. I can't find that video, and I've never been able to find that video like for years now. I've searched, all of the obviously YouTube, but all of the other ones as well. I've tried to find
There's a similar story like that, Lee, about the Inuit tribe that was alleged the whole tribe disappeared one night.
Yeah.
The houses were there, their clothes were still there, the food was still out on the tables in the huts.
Yeah.
And gone. I know exactly what you're talking about. I know that story.
I'll get it back on Mandela. We'll get it back on Bigfoot people. But just to answer your question there, Q, you are old. But but he knows it. He knows it's fucking mirror. He just doesn't want to admit it. He knows it for the whole fucking population, and I think it's pretty much every motherfucker that goes, it's mirror.
That's
every songs go mirror. They don't. A lot of these songs don't go magic mirror.
Yeah. First of all, it's fucking Disney, innit? And
do any of you boys remember? We've got feedback again. Does any of you boys remember it having tits?
I don't remember originally. No, I don't.
Nope.
So we just made. You'd have seen that back as being boys. We'd have seen that back as being boys. All of us, we're boys. We always point. But back in the day, you can't do it these days. You can't go, "Who boobies?" No, that's wrong now. These days. But back then, we'd have gone, shit, those are some great big motherfucking hairy tits.
Yeah.
I can't remember. I cannot remember saying that to anybody. Hey, Bigfoot had massive chebs. Never did I say that. And I would have done as a kid. I would have said, yeah, wow, that's a great picture. Big tits. I'd have said that. And then I laughed. And I made a joke about it.
Well, when you're a kid, right? And that's like the only Bigfoot footage that was really out there, too. So that's like the only one you're really looking at the most, because that's like the main one was out there. You're right. And there was no boobs.
I would have definitely
Not that
noticed
we
those.
remember. Not that
I'm
we.
a boob guy. I like big.
You're right. That we don't remember. I mean, yeah.
But then again, all the footage that you're seeing now of the Patterson Gimlet, right? It's mostly enhanced footage, right?
Mm.
Maybe now the internet's just flooded with the enhanced stuff and not the older stuff.
See, this is what I was
And
gonna.
that's what it pops up for you.
Higher definition, you mean?
Yeah, like higher definition images. It's searched so much. Maybe now the internet just pulls up the higher definition images of it for everyone.
Or
Can
what?
can I just clarify? I don't like hairy tits though. Like, just to clarify.
Or what a great way it would be to quietly destabilize people if you just took certain little things, like things from pop culture that people are used to seeing, like a Bigfoot, like Mirror Mirror, like the color of C-3PO, and just changing it. It would be a really good way to subconsciously just knock people off kilter if you so chose to do that sort of thing. That's one of the things I think might be responsible for the Mandela effect. Is it's just more social conditioning.
Well said.
But then if you're going into that, you can't rule out if we're ruling in that all of a sudden Bigfoot's got big boobs, and it was Mirror Mirror all along. It's just changed.
It could just be misremembering. Don't get me wrong.
You can't rule out that fucking Bigfoot can just disappear into thin air.
No, no, would I? Or even if it's maybe it can't disappear into thin air, but we've got species on the Earth which have got really good camouflage mechanism where they can change their color. They can absorb. I think there's squid. There's certain squids can do it. There's flatfish that are really good at it as well. And there's probably stuff I can't think of off the top of my head. So there's no reason why it can't blend in. Maybe it does do like a predator type move, to blend itself into the background.
Not even that. Who's to say the Sasquatch is walking straight? It's, I don't know, 100 yards ahead of you and you're chasing it. The thing just stops and jumps to the left or jumps to the right and hides behind something or runs off the opposite direction. You lose its trail. That thing could do anything, It's a big animal. It's a very large animal. It's got a very large gape in its step, Yeah. So.
And Jennifer's not wrong.
Men only notice what?
The perky ones.
Any.
Hey, underbelly. Good night, buddy.
Good night, mate. So, if someone put gun to head to you guys, what would you each think it is? I'm guessing you. Well, I forgot your name. I hate the people. I hate it when people have proper names.
Written Lee names are on the
no,
screen.
I can't see it. My camera's in the way. Top right.
Eric.
Yeah, thank you. I take it you think it's just an animal.
Oh, you're asking what I think Bigfoot is?
Yeah.
I think he's another species. Well, God, he's smarter than an animal. It's almost. I think it's the closest thing to a human versus. He's going to be on the animal species, but I think they're the closest thing to the humans like us that almost has the brains as we do.
Like a chromosome or 2 off, something like that.
Yeah.
Or even maybe it's just an animal that's got like the same sort of inner monologue we've got, because like because it must be such a big evolutionary advantage that to be able to essentially you can have your own brainstorming idea about what you're supposed to do in your own mind. That must be such an advantage if that was the case.
Yeah.
But if it is our own and it's from here, and it's as intelligent as us, and it's been around as long as us, Why is it not making electric fucking cars?
Hold on. Why is he not doing what?
Making electric cars.
Maybe he's got a problem with like slaves, man, and coalbait. That'd be nice.
I think they're for some reason, because of all the reports of them and the sightings and just disappearing, and even like bones, like and all that. I always thought, besides dimensional or something like that, like underground is where like cave systems and everything. That's what I think that, like, what the deal is with them.
You
I
think
don't
it's
think they like
underground?
gorillas. Gorillas like make a nest every night, a new nest, and that's what they sleep in. They just make it with leaves and everything like that. But they'll sleep in the trees. They'll sleep on the ground. But these things, as big as they are, even though there's dense forests, I think that if they are like they're underground or something like that. Kind of
We've
like
only gone 8 miles, haven't we?
What's that?
We've only gone 8 miles. We've only gone down 8 miles.
Into the Earth's crust? Yeah.
What we've done.
yeah, but think about like what was that like right now? Not such an easy comparison, but like Vietnam. Remember when the Vietnamese were underground? They had all the
Yeah.
tunnels they made and everything. I mean, there's a lot of places we haven't even, like I said earlier, we haven't even explored and found all the trees or counted all the trees yet. Like the redwoods, there's still some out there. I mean, there's 2-3 trillion trees. So if there's areas on this planet that we still haven't really seen or explored, who's to know what's there, like and what they could go in cave systems and all that.
We
I mean,
haven't
that's
explored. We haven't explored the depths of our ocean, the depths of the forests. There's so much unexplored land and mass. It's ridiculous. I mean, like I was saying earlier, right, Ron? You could go out into the wilderness out here in America, and you can literally get lost
easily,
very
easily.
So
I feel bad. I don't think the UFO check likes me.
Why?
I
She
don't
probably
know.
loves you.
You will all suffer for this. Believe me.
Oh no,
She's
she's coming on. I can't get anybody on tonight because we've got a full house. There's 5 of us in tonight. It's like that's about the max I go to. Otherwise, it gets messy.
Very messy.
No, she loves you. UFO chick's cool. Why? What did she say to you?
Eric thinks everybody hates him, so it's
No, it's
No. I was just reading a couple. You are all going to get a bee sting. So I didn't know.
Oh no, that's you. That's UK sense of humor. Like you're gonna get a good bee sting, mate. Don't you worry about it. She's gonna give us a good beating.
Yeah.
UFO
Don't
chick,
forget,
man, come on,
you-
you can
you
give me a
told-
little, give me a little good beating. We'll
But
take
she's
it.
right. There is stories of David
Collider?
about the cave systems and all that out there. So there's tons of stories about how there's cave systems, and that's where some of these missing people are going. They're being taken into these cave systems. So that's a real story. And I believe there is cave systems. Like Ron was saying, we haven't explored every single part of freaking land. There's too much land to do that to. You guys ever drove to Wisconsin, Montana? It's mostly all land versus houses and stuff. There's no way you could trace every single spot out there. Canada, look at Canada. That's almost all
Forget it.
forest.
Yeah. And there's only about 200 people live up there as well, isn't there?
Exactly.
When Les Stroud went out there to do the Bigfoot story with that guy Todd Standing, they walked 5 days just into the wilderness, into that spot, and then up a mountain to go to the general location where he said he saw these things. 5 days into the woods. That's way, way deep into the forest, man.
I don't know if I'm being really, really stupid here, but do you guys in the States, you don't have any do you have any natural monkeys? You don't have any gorillas or anything like that, do you? It's not a thing there.
Just in the zoos. Yeah, no, it's not.
The biggest thing you've got is a bear.
Grizzly.
But you don't have any primates, do you? There's never been any.
I mean, there's been primates that have gotten out and escaped, and
Oh yeah, but there's no natural.
natural, yeah.
Nothing in America is there.
No.
Nothing.
No.
But the thing is, it's the climate for it. you've got the climate for it. Like where you see primates, like in Africa, I mean, you guys can get some fucking heat in there.
Oh man, just the other day here in New York, it was 96 degrees. I mean,
But here's the thing: why would it? Why you look at gorillas and you think, why would they even need the heat? Why would they even need to be in that heated area? They're fucking full of hair.
Yeah, and it changes as the weather does change. Like the little cooler it gets, and it could be just 10. You'll see them get long, straggly hair like that, and then it'll get real short. It's crazy.
but then again, you don't know how they evolved into that area where they're at now. You know, back in the millions of years ago, land masses were connected. They could have started off in one part of the world and walked across different parts of the country as land masses shifted, continental shift, and all of that, and just happened to end up in places like Africa in warm spots, and just that's where they stood.
True.
But you guys, I mean, you'll have looked into gorillas, though, wouldn't you?
Yeah, Ron's big into the gorillas, man.
So gorillas are hard to track. Am I right by saying that, Ron? They are hard to track down in terms of that they like the privacy. Well, okay, okay, trackers can find them because they find the shit and they look at the tracks and all that,
and they turned it into a tourism business.
They are fucking shy. They are shy creatures, and you've got to gain their fucking trust.
Absolutely.
And I know a lot of people, because believe it or not, like Anthony said on my TikTok, I will post that all the time, all gorillas, every time. And a lot of people get mad because I don't like animals in zoos either.
No.
You know what I mean? But unfortunately, like the gorillas, they'll cut their head off and kill them to make turn their hands into ashtrays.
An ashtray, man. It's disgusting.
I don't know if it's the Western lowland or the Eastern lowland. There's like 1,200 left in the world. And there used to be hundreds of thousands of them.
Isn't that disgusting?
But they are hard to, like, they are private. You can go out there and you got to go deep into the Congo and deep into the woods like that just to go find them. And even then, and because they're not like a violent species like that, but they'll protect their own. And if you go into their space, you make sure the silverback don't slap your head off your shoulders, you know?
Never mind invading the space of the young ones, man. They'll rip your fucking head off. They think you're young.
Yep. And that's what you got to worry about it's called the blackbacks. Those are the ones that are like, because they turn into silverbacks around 12, 13 years old. The ones that are like 10, 11, they're called blackbacks. They got to prove something. So those are the ones that like will beat the crap out of you.
Ron showed me a video of a gorilla that got pissed off. This thing picked up a boulder that was the size of a VW bug with one hand and just fucking threw it. Like, I've never seen anything like that before, man. Incredible strength.
They are.
You would not want to piss them off.
They said, like, with bench pressing, like, let's just say a silverback that they average around 400 pounds, that's the average. Like, a Mr. Olympia, his bench press would be, let's just say about 300-400 pounds, right? That would be the normal, like that. If that was the equivalent, the silverback would be pressing 2,000.
Jesus Christ.
That's how strong they are, like that.
Now they found a species of ape called the billy ape, which is a totally hairless ape. And when you look at the muscles on this thing, first of all, it stands at like 5'9". That's a short one. They go up to like 5'11". These things, these billy apes, and they're just jacked. They're all hairless and they're just jacked. And this is a new species that was just recently discovered, the billy ape. So if we're still discovering species that have been out there now, who's to say that Sasquatch really isn't out there? We just
100%.
discovered the billy ape recently. So, I mean, that's why I'm all for saying it's very plausible that an undetected species of primate that's bipedal could very well be out there. Because the billy ape is bipedal. They walk on 2 feet. Monkeys too. You see walk on 2 feet a lot of times. Gorillas, walk on 2 feet, but then they fall to their hands a lot, but they do walk on 2 feet. So for a Sasquatch to be out there is not too far off.
It's strange though, isn't it? It's strange that there isn't more of an effort into finding it. If that's
Because what would happen if we actually found it, though? You would have to change all the history books. Like right now, we're gonna have
or it solidify what we already know. If it turns out that we are a descendant of it, and it's just like our evolutionary paths went differently.
we're one chromosome off from apes.
Mm-hmm.
We have just one. Is it an X or Y chromosome, whatever it is, different from them?
Aren't we like one away from a
We're a
banana as well,
99%
though?
match. What's that?
Aren't we like one away from a banana as well?
I don't know.
Yeah,
sure.
there's a
Probably.
I can't remember what it is. But if we were to find out that this was something that could have been us like thousands of years ago, I just I feel it would be important. I don't understand why there isn't more effort put into like trying to find these things out. And they say I always think the same thing about life after death as well. It's like the most important day of everybody's life is when they find out whether there's anything after we die, and we put little to no effort into looking at it.
It's
It's
because most
fucking
of us have turned
ridiculous.
into atheists, mate.
So much shit that they taught us growing up in school was wrong.
Bullshit.
We've evolved from ape.
Yeah.
Wrong, right? The Big Bang Theory, Michio Kaku was just on the other day talking about the Big Bang Theory is wrong.
Mm-hmm.
They're rewriting that now because the James Webb Telescope, the images that are coming back are going to rewrite the science books.
Mm-hmm.
Everything that we were taught, our era, it was wrong. A lot of it,
Yep.
90% of it, they're saying.
And Christopher Columbus was a nice guy. We know that wasn't true.
So who's to say?
Saw a UFO though.
That's right. It was dancing like the flicker of a candle on the ocean. I remember that story. Yeah. But who's to say? My son's 18 now. Who's to say when he's 42 what it's going to say in the history books then? It's going to be totally
your son's 18.
Yeah, 18.
Fuck me, mate. You started young.
22. I had him.
Good lad.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be an old dad. I know what you're saying. Like it really is like it's weird that it's really fucking strange that this community has become this. It's an issue. That's what it is.
It's like everything, though, isn't it? Everything's tribal now.
No, but the community's become. It's turning in on itself.
That's what I mean. But everything is, isn't it? Like it's everything's politicized and everything's tribal.
Like we do, yeah. We do. I guarantee we do a show. I've always been like fascinated by why people believe in Bigfoot, because in the UK it's not a thing. Mm-hmm. We know fuck all about Bigfoot. So
but UFOs too, they're always arguing too about UFOs. Why do they only see UFOs in America? Why is Bigfoot always in America? Yeah.
I think it's mainly in America. The UK don't speak about it. The UK do this.
Do you
UFOs
think that's
is
just
not a
because
thing
we're more fascinated with it in America? Or
no, I think it's bred into you.
Okay.
And I don't mean that in a disrespectful way at all. I think there's a reason why it's there.
I think it comes from island mentality, like because like the UK is just a bigger island than the island I'm on. But when you've got a sort of island mentality rather than being on a big landmass, like you can, you have more chance of seeing the people that are around you more and more often on a much more regular basis. So if you make a fool of yourself in front of a small community, that's remembered. Whereas if you make a fool and you're wrong about something in a much larger community, it means less.
Look at that. That's the comment of the night there.
But that's not necessarily true, because when they find giant hubbub squid, that did change everything. That changed a lot. in
No,
science.
but do you remember how much we talked about fucking Nemo and the fucking giant squid?
Oh,
And
yeah,
it
absolutely.
was like,
Yeah.
fucking hell, a giant squid. Can you imagine a giant squid? It's just a fucking legend. It's just a
Right.
legend, a giant squid.
And
Then
it's
all
real.
of a sudden you've got the fucking giant squid. No one gives a fuck.
Mm.
Nobody
Like we were
gives a
saying
fuck.
earlier about Sasquatch.
Do you
Nobody gives
realize
a fuck
right
when you
now
bring
we've
it
got
out.
velociraptors in Africa? Yeah, but fuck me, as long as I'm not there, I don't give a shit.
True. Very true. Very true.
Do you know that's the thing?
Very true.
Like,
it's short lived when you find it. Yeah.
so I think there was a question. I don't know if Lee said it or I said it, but like halfway through the show, if Bigfoot ever does get discovered, I think if Bigfoot does get discovered and released, and it's all over the news, Bigfoot found. It's a fucking big gorilla. We think it's a bit intelligent. It's ginger, and it's in the States. Does anybody give a fuck? No. Nobody would give a fuck.
Very true.
Only the Bigfoot community and us, the UFO community, or whatever, would actually care. I think that the brainwashed fucking monkeys that are out there would just carry on with the day and doing the TikToks and all that jazz. And
I think
make sure you follow Alien Addict on TikTok, by the way.
yeah, there's a large group of people that have made like a subconscious bargain with tomorrow, and the subconscious bargain is that every tomorrow will be the same as today, and like and nothing, regardless of what comes in the way of that. Like no, everything's fine. I just want to pay my mortgage. I'm gonna buy a house, and then when I bought that house, I might get a slightly bigger house, and that's kind of the focus.
Yeah.
I wonder though if somebody actually like right now shot a Sasquatch and dragged it out of the woods and it was shown, all over the news that it was real. What would happen? Would it be forgotten?
It would be popular for like the week.
A
It'll
week?
be in the
Yeah.
media cycle, and then it'll just right out.
Right out.
That's it.
I don't
And
think the
even
guy would be very popular that shot it.
No,
Yeah.
probably not.
First of all, I want to beat the shit out of the guy who shot it.
Probably
Yeah.
not.
Yeah, don't shoot Sasquatch people.
Probably.
Don't shoot gorillas. Don't shoot any sort of human-like looking thing.
I hope
Making
somebody drag one that proves that it's out there though one day. I hope we get some real solid evidence that it's out there. I would love to see that.
I hope so.
Did have they ever? They found poos though, haven't they? Like feces and that.
You hear stories
That's
about
just-
that, hair samples, feces, but then when they test it, it always it comes back to like an unknown species,
Yeah.
So that doesn't help. Because an unknown species, what's that? Does that mean that it could be a Sasquatch, or does that mean that the way you collected the evidence was shoddy and it was collected poorly or whatever?
Before we kind of wrap this up, I don't know how much longer you boys want to go for, but what would you say is the best place in America with the most evidence that they could potentially do more research in an area?
I can't say about evidence, but the hottest spot with the most sightings is right here in the state that I live in, Washington. Washington has the most sightings, but I can't. No state can claim they have the most evidence because, like everybody was saying, how do you know what evidence is true or is not? But Washington is number one for most sightings.
If I was gonna go anywhere, I'd probably go out to Canada. Way out.
Up in northern Canada,
Yeah,
especially.
northern Canada.
And of course, northern Canada connected with Washington, so it makes sense.
Bigfoot does look like a maple syrup guy, I have to say.
Why not?
Ron, what about you? Where do you think?
I think I would like to go up into the mountains of Tibet, like that, and see if there's, those are people there that they're not. I mean, I'm not saying that they're like Neanderthal. They have internet and all that stuff, but there's a lot of stories up there. You know what I mean?
More connected with their history.
Yeah, exactly. And there's a lot of stories up there. But if you mean like in the States wise, I think probably the Sierra Mountains.
I knew you were going to say that.
Yeah, the Sierra Mountains is density and everything over there. I think so. I would like that. I don't know what I would do if I ran into a Sasquatch. I could tell you, oh man, I'll take pictures and everything. Then again, somebody may find a camera on the floor and it just sees me running away. I don't know.
Crawl up in a
You
ball,
know?
sucking your thumb in the corner.
Yeah,
Get this
yeah.
thing out of here.
Yeah,
Do
I
you
would
think
rather
the last
research
trust-
Bigfoot in the Sierra Mountains versus Washington. I tell you that right now. At least the Sierra Mountains is a lot easier, a little bit more spread out. Washington, man, all the trees are compact.
Dense.
I mean, you got to be careful. I mean, you can miss so much evidence in Washington, just the way how all the trees and how much rain we get. So you got to prepare in Washington. You find a footprint, you better put a cast on it, because that night it'd be pouring down rain.
UFO chick is crazy. She says she's the love child of Mick West and George Knapp. He's too much.
Boys, so are you gonna like do a Bigfoot hunt together at all? Is that gonna come up?
I would love to. I don't see why not.
I know you do. I know you and Ron. Is it you and Ron that do the paranormal stuff? I would like to see you three go out for a.
We should all go up by Eric, because he's in the spot for that. We should all go.
Yeah,
yeah.
Do a fucking holiday.
We should go do a holiday. Yeah, I agree. We should go on vacation, go meet Eric, and go on a Sasquatch hunt. Tell your wife we're coming over.
If you do it next year, you never know, because we're going to America.
Because Ollie and Lee, you gotta understand, I live here and Anthony lives here.
Yeah,
we live on the
side of
opposite
the map.
sides of the United States of America.
But you guys are coming down.
Yeah.
So I think all of us should meet.
That'd be great.
All five of us should get
We're going to
together.
we're going to America in 2 months. We're going to America next year, Lee. By the looks of it.
Yeah.
We're playing that for next year.
Because
I'm only in this for the holidays.
with great research becomes great responsibilities.
That's it.
That was
All
really
right,
bad.
Spider-Man.
Wow, really bad. Really
Calm
bad.
down.
Really bad. Shit the bed. Shit the bed. I think that's a good note in it to leave the show
Probably.
on a good note. And Anthony's
You're going to
fucking
start busting
echoing
out
the
more
mic.
Avengers quotes somehow.
There is going to be, remember, Anthony, there is going to be a Bigfoot group camping in
Nikki's,
June, July. I can't remember.
Nikki
Remember? Nikki,
from
yeah.
Hairy Man Hoaxes and Hoodwinks got a big event going. I can't remember.
Yeah,
Washington.
it's only an hour away where I'm at.
Nikki just actually made me a beautiful piece she's sending me this week. I couldn't even believe it. The lady Nikki, she has a show called Hairy Man Hoaxes and Hoodwinks, and she's an artist, and she did my logo on a piece of wood for me. She did a beautiful job, man.
That's really cool.
She does Sasquatches and stuff, but yeah, she just sent that out to me. She did a great job. Very talented person.
Just take a picture of that and say you found it from like some Aboriginal carver on the third phase of moon. Will have it up within an hour.
They probably would.
Like, I'm thinking next year, if me and Lee get to the States, I keep hearing my own voice. Anthony, do me a favor, just hit mute for 2 seconds. I think it's yours. Just hit the.
Yeah.
Is he gone? It's gone.
Yep.
Anthony, it's Chewbacca. It's repeating everything. Is that Chewbacca doll?
Eric was muted too.
I was muted too, yeah.
Oh yeah. I can hear
Not
myself
for
again.
me.
I don't know how it would be me. I never.
I'll mute my.
It's gone.
Is he gone? No. It's not me. He's gone. Is he gone? It's you, Anthony. It is you.
I'm muted the whole time.
It's Anthony's. Yeah.
It's only a slight
What
mute.
is it?
It's only,
What do you
I
hear?
don't know. It's fine. Just when you want to speak, just mute it and mute it
It
and unmute
sounds-
and all that. It's not that bad. It's not that bad.
What
Don't
it
worry about
sounds like, Anthony, is like when we're talking, it sounds like if it's coming out of speakers on your end, and we hear like it's like a little feedback, boom, 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 like that.
Tiny bit. Tiny, and it's like a nipple. It's like a nipple. Stop.
You know, I was screwing around with this the other day because I bought a new boom, so I had to take everything apart and put it back together. So maybe I.
Oh, I like the logo on the mic.
Oh, thank you, darling.
I'm really liking that you call me darling as well. Jesus.
Now,
Beautiful.
are you and Lee really are coming down next year to America?
This year we're
No,
coming.
we're coming in 2 months.
Yeah,
2 months
we're-
they're coming
we're
down.
going
2
to
months.
Have-
What
have you-
state?
we're going
have you
to Knoxville.
Knoxville, Tennessee.
Tennessee.
Yeah.
Of all
Yeah.
places, you guys are going to Nashville, Tennessee?
We are going to
Paranormal
meet.
hunt.
We have like, so just like you boys, we've got
We have a pet
it's
CIA
like,
agent.
it's like yeah, we really good friends with a great guy. Dave, he comes on Lee's Sunday show, never comes on my Friday show unless his mates let him down, because he goes UFO watching and stuff like that and drinks beers with his mates. And he's just invited me and Lee to come stay with him for a week.
It
So
seems like all British people go to Florida. For whatever reason, they all go to Florida.
I
I've been
did
to
that when I
Florida
was
twice,
10.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've been there once. Yeah.
Well,
Shit.
we should really talk
They want
about
it.
setting something up for next year. And
Yeah.
doing UFOs, paranormal, Bigfoot, or we could do the trifecta. We should definitely get together if you come down again.
Yeah, be ace.
That would be cool.
Well, I'm sure that it's not going to be the last time we go to the States, because I mean, at the end of the day, this channel we want to start branching out. We want to start going to the UFO conferences, paranormal, ghosts, whatever. We're there because aliens, anything. You know, I kept it open. I didn't name it UFO. We didn't name it UFO. It's alien. And alien doesn't mean little green men. It just means it's odd. So we're an odd channel.
That's why I took unidentified, because it's just unidentified.
There you
We
go.
don't know.
There you go. And I want everybody in the chat who's watching this tonight, check out the description, because all these boys' channels are there. Great boys with great content. You got to go check them out. You've got to go support this community. And we've not had an invite yet, me and Lee.
I was just literally gonna say, when you were done talking, we got to get you by us when you have time.
We've always got time. We've always got
Tell
time.
us when and where.
We just got to work out the hours.
Yeah, well, if you this Sunday I'm booked, but next Sunday if you're free, you're more than welcome to come on. Or the Sunday after that, just look at your schedule. Let me know.
What time's your Sunday? Because we could Lee, we could do a Sunday.
Mm-hmm.
We do a 9, don't we? A 9 while half.
I'm on 6 p.m. Eastern.
That's
What time's
11
it?
by you, Ollie.
We'll work it out.
We can do that.
Wednesdays I'm on 12 o'clock in the afternoon Eastern,
But there's 5 by you.
which is 5 by you.
I could do that as well. I could do that.
I don't know if I can do that.
Might be a bit of a rush for you, Ollie.
Well, I might have like 2 sprogs running around in the background.
We'll sort it out. You let me know what your
Just
schedule is.
sedate them. It worked wonders for the
You
mechanics.
can always change
Oh
the
God, I knew you were going to say that before he just as soon as you said today, I knew that's the joke that was going to follow by I could just Lee, I can just judge you. I know what you're going to say.
There's the limited monetization badge, though.
Those
Who
are so
cares?
stupid.
Who cares? We're going to be on Rumble soon.
They hit you with the limited, and then you go for a human review, and then they always reverse it usually.
No, they don't reverse ours. Not
Really?
since Lee, not since me and Lee's team. No, they don't reverse. They say after looking at your channel,
No
we can see that
way.
Lee's a bit of a twat.
You know, you get
Absolutely
treated
not.
British. You know that.
That's funny.
No, it's fine. It's fine. I don't care. Ad revenue. What does it make, boys? You know what it makes. It makes tuppence. Yeah. So if you want to support the channel, go check out the merch, people. Consider becoming a patron or a channel member.
Just fucking give us money.
Just
Or,
Give us
you
fucking money.
you could tweet every advertiser, go check out Alien Addict. Because he's very advertiser friendly. Especially Lee. Look at him. It's an advertisement for a
What?
I don't know what your advertisement for. But it's on a good note, people. Go check out these boys. great channels, UFOs. I would say all three of you are mainly UFOs, not Bigfoot so much, and aliens.
And science. Ron's a big science guy. Asteroids, NASA.
I've always
do a
done
lot of
things
space stuff
equally.
now.
I don't do one more than the other. Actually, you know, my channel in the beginning was mostly Mandela effects. And then we did Bigfoots and just everything.
Shit, Eric,
I enjoy it all.
You're gonna have to we're gonna have to do another Mandela Effect show, aren't we?
Oh, dude, we could do if you guys want to do a Mandela Effect show, we could do a Mandela Effect show.
Those
We
are the
just
most
have to be
interesting,
willing
really.
to have all the crackheads come in the chat, because when crackheads love Mandela Effect shows, I'm telling you, I'm being honest. Crackheads like, oh, they're talking Mandela Effect, and
it's
they'll be there.
insane.
It would work.
When I do a Mandela Effect show, they come out.
I've got it. We'll get it all sorted. We're gonna do a Twitter thing. We'll do hashtag Mandela on crack.
Hashtag Mandela on crack. That works.
Listen, guys,
we'll do this
listen.
shit.
I'm coming out in less than a week with my first cartoon
I
of
can tell
season
by the
2.
hat.
My episode 2 cartoon is called Mandela Effect of Madness.
That's the one we saw the other day.
No, that's the third one.
We've made so many already.
And we can get in deep with some Mandela effects if you guys want
Definitely.
to do something like that.
I'm all over that. I'm all over that. We had a lot of fun with the last Mandela Effect. Lee brought up a tally chart. Was I on, Lee? I don't think I was on, but I watched it afterwards.
No, me and Dave did like the.
Yeah, I
Mandela
want to be
Effect
on for one
quiz
of
thing.
them. I want to
And
be
we
on for a
both-
Mandela.
Like, because there's a couple ones being like from the UK. I didn't like the Bernstein Bears, for instance, weren't a thing in the UK. So there was a few I didn't get, but I got most of them wrong. Like, and most of the ones that I hadn't already seen, like I.
What about the
wrong.
Ford emblem? Did you see the Ford emblem?
Yeah, it destroyed me. That like I'm a motorsports guy. You know, it's the oddly enough, my dad's literally just got a Ford. Over the last couple of days ago, he's got a Focus, and he pulled up in front of me, and even then I was like sat looking at the door or looking at the logo with the little Disney swirl that's in it, and it's not the Ford logo. You know, it's not. I watch Formula One, like the Ford Cosworth logo has been in Formula One for fucking years.
Just
Not right.
just 3 weeks ago, I did a Mandela Effect show on a personal, not a story that everybody knows, a personal story of a Mandela Effect change for me for Peter Tosh, just 3 weeks ago
That was a great story. That Peter Tosh
on the
story.
reggae singer.
I really hate it how like a lot of the community shits on Mandela.
Dude,
When
they do.
when
You start talking about it, what it is
no,
it's people-
and Q's one of them. I love Q to pieces. I've known Qvid in the chat for
No, Qvid's on with the Ford.
Oh, is he on with the Ford? Yes,
Yeah.
John P. Benjamin, right? I think a beating when I
Won him over. We've won him over. We've won him over.
Because people in the Mandela Effect community truly believe that they're the only ones that really have the effect. Nobody else is allowed to talk about and have it, only if it comes from them. That's the problem with the community itself. They say people should be open-minded only if it comes from them. So they don't like it when you talk about it or you come up with something.
My argument with it is go ask your fucking parents if they're still alive.
I've just realized I'm going to do a TikTok, like a jokey TikTok about how some people remember Michael Jackson as being black.
It's a great TikTok. Great TikTok. And on that note, Lee, what's your show about on Sunday? We've already pumped.
You tell me, Ollie. I had a show lined up, had a show I wanted to do with the subject and everything like that, and you fucking gave me UFOs to talk about.
I did not.
No, I know. We're going to talk about the hearing, aren't we?
Like the congressional hearing.
The congressional shit show is what it was.
Well, let's be honest. We're not really going to talk about that. We're gonna like probably mention it at the beginning of
skirt
the show.
around it a little bit.
There's not much we can help us out, boys. What? Give us some
I'm looking
advice.
I'm looking forward to hearing what Dave has to say about it. I think he'll have some good stuff to talk about.
It's going to be a short show if you're talking about this hearing that just passed. They really didn't discuss much of anything.
No, it's
No, it was more
Again,
about
we
procedures.
watched
Funding.
it.
It was all about procedures on how they going to figure these things out. I mean, it felt like the whole
How they
thing
can
was about
pass it off
procedures.
on other people and how they can get more money. That's
yeah.
basically what it was about.
Well, I remember ages ago, Goofon on the show, he said it was all about getting more money for various projects. I think that makes a lot of sense.
No, I mean, I got to give it to him. He was right.
Yeah. But the other one I
Even
think
though
is,
they hate each other.
I
Look,
think
let me rectify. I don't hate anybody. I just don't like when people act like a dick.
I'm a drama
That's all.
fan.
That's all. Don't treat me like a dick. I won't treat you like a dick. We can all get along. That's all.
Yeah, but you know, Rich is a dick because his name is Rich. Rich. He's even said it himself to me. I'm a dick. He is.
ironically, you calling
Rich-
someone a dick is rich coming from you. The other one is, I wonder if it's just fucking like stuff to take up people's attention. You know, just like stop looking at like
I would
trains
would
with
urge
chemicals
people to
derailing.
go watch Alien Scientist's interview with Gillihan. At the end of that interview, she looked a little bit like she was trying to, and I don't know if you felt the same, which I'd love him to come on Sunday on your show, Lee, because it looked like she was like, okay, yeah, I just want to go home and have a drink, a glass of wine. I've had enough for today.
Jeremy's
The
great.
whole-
Jeremy's
Yeah.
great.
I like Alien Scientist.
That's
He's-
awesome that he was there. I had no idea.
Yeah.
They all rocked up. They all rocked up and they were asking the right questions. And unfortunately, I think she had bitten up more than she could chew. They didn't expect those sort of questions from Jeremy. So yeah,
Good for him.
boys, thank you so much for
Pleasure.
joining us tonight.
Thank you for having us.
Been a pleasure.
Thank you.
We've got a show Sunday, people. Lee is presenting. I think I am there, Lee. I'm there. Balls deep with you. I'm not going to leave you with a UFO subject. I think Dave would be all right. I just think you'd be like, I don't really give a fuck.
Yeah, I just don't really think there's aliens.
No, you do. You just think they're underground.
Yeah,
I got Daryl Sims coming on Sunday. The alien hunter, the CIA guy.
Oh,
It
nice.
should be interesting.
Boys, yeah, before you go, yeah, plug your channels individual. Anthony, go.
Like I said, Sunday, Daryl Sims will be on, the alien hunter, former CIA operative. He took over for Dr. Roger Lear with the alien implants. So we're going to ask a lot of questions about implants and abduction and stuff. So that should be interesting. And that's this Sunday at 6 p.m. Eastern on Unidentified as 4.
Beautiful.
On tomorrow at 3 p.m. Eastern time. Gonna probably just go over some stuff about when NASA were trying to build not just a base on the moon for the moon, but it's going to be a moon to Mars architecture. So that's what they're working on right now. So I'm going to get real spacey tomorrow, 3 p.m.
His space shows are phenomenal. They really are. Cosmic
Yeah.
Neighbor does a dynamite job.
On Monday, I do my live shows on Monday, and then once in a while I put out what I call breaking news, where sometimes Anthony comes up as it's a premiere type of video that we have fun looking at videos, kind of a deal. Nobody knows my channel. You know, we had a first season cartoon series that had 8 episodes that's on my channel. Second season of this cartoon series is restarting up. 3 cartoons are already done. One's getting ready to be premiered. And guys, I know you guys in the chat like cartoon. This cartoon involves a Bigfoot, an alien, a guardian angel, Gabriel. I mean, this cartoon character, Deep Throat. I mean, it has
like an Adult Swim
a lot of folklore
cartoon type.
people working together to basically save the world.
A lot of
That
fun.
sounds ace.
So season 2 starting up, but you got to watch first season first, where we first met the Bigfoot. We first met the
I put
alien.
Bigfoot. I'm the
There's
Bigfoot.
time travel in it. There's time traveling. There's multiverse. I mean, it goes crazy.
It's good fun.
And if you've made it this far, you gotta go check out that, because that's gonna be the cherry on the top.
It's not easy doing a cartoon. It's a lot of work.
Mhm.
A lot of fun too.
And they're
Boys,
not cheap.
And not
thank
cheap.
thank you so much. I'm going to end the show.
Good night.
I'm going to talk to Alien Chick in the channel below after the show, and we're going to get her on another show. We're going to speak about it. Good night. God bless. Mind
Thanks
the
for
bugs, don't
having us.
bite.
You gotta
I am
go-
Alien Addict.
Yeah.
Go
Good
check
night.
these people out.
Cheers, guys.
Cheers.
Much love. Lee, where's your intro?
What, my intro?
Yeah, your ending intro.
What, the
I can't
Musty
find
Audio
it.
intro?
Yeah. Oh, never mind. We'll just end it. We'll just end it.
What?
Goodbye. Goodbye. Goodbye.